hurricane, a tidal wave. Essence perfect, life looks brilliant. Give me more of this. I'm out of control, about to blow, and I've been caught in the undertow. So toxic, but I can't get enough. You bury me, bury me. Yeah, you bury me, bury me. You've got me hypnotized, push me out of myself. You've got me hypnotized. I can see, I can hear, going crazy by the light. It's got me hypnotized. You've got me hypnotized. And get you out of my hand again. Is it wrong? Is it right? It's like I've won my final war without a fight. I'm out of control, about to blow. I've been caught in the undertow. So toxic, but I can't get enough. You bury me, bury me. I know you bury me, bury me. You've got me hypnotized, push me out of myself. You've got me hypnotized. I can see, I can hear, going crazy by the light. It's got me hypnotized. You've got me hypnotized. Get you out of my head, get you out of my head.
Please note.
Never gonna stop, never gonna change, never gonna do the things you say. I run my own way to get there. Pulls a coin and I don't seem to care. In the air, no more crowd, just the opposite kind of few clouds. Tell me this time is coming for the sake of all your lies. Why don't you try to be wise? Know that I need you anyway.
I never wanted to be alive, just to feel like I'm fading. And though my heart breaks a beat at time, I've crossed the lines just to tell you. Don't lead the way, don't even say that I try with a child playing the rain. I feel like I'm fading.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Raw Watch Party as we are about to hit a historic night, Monday Night Raw on Netflix. So let's WWE and chill, shall we? We are like 4 minutes away. I'm still kind of looking at the screen here, wondering how this is going to operate. Like, I've got the screen ready to go. I don't see any countdowns or anything. I don't know if Netflix does that. I generally thought maybe they'd have a bit of a countdown timer involved for a little while or something along those lines, but more fool me for thinking that they would think of something like that, I guess. But yeah, we are only minutes away. So in the meantime and in between time, if you could go ahead and click the subscribe button here on the Video Bros Network. If you're following along on Twitch, we are currently broadcasting on our local establishment's Twitch, as well as my personal Twitch, Video Bro _ Bobby Munson. So yes, during the night, we do have the Women's Classic Wrestling podcast coming up here at around 10 p.m. Eastern time. So I want to assure you that we will be taking the Twitch stream from OLE over to my personal stream later in the evening. And then from there, the ladies are going to take over here on our local establishment, both on Twitch and YouTube, for your full entertainment benefits. So yes, looking forward to that. It's going to be a very, very interesting night here on this big historic, night for wrestling fans, for WWE. Where were you when sort of situation? Again, only less than 2 minutes. And I still don't see where we can get to a point of like getting it started. Like seriously, a real countdown meter would have been nice. I go to the main page here. Oh, hold on here. Netflix live now. See, again, you go live now and Is it just gonna start when it starts? Curious to see. I mean, let's get excited for it. Let's try to be positive. I mean, with all the negatives in the world, let's try to look at what's good about tonight. What are you looking forward to most? Any particular matches? Any particular returns? Big names? You know, what is the positives coming out of Monday Night Raw's premiere on Netflix this evening? Let me know in the comments section as we're getting ready to start up, hopefully any second now, if all goes well, but we will soon find out how this all pans out here for us. So hopefully we'll have several other people joining throughout the night, coming in to, you know, give their perspective on Monday Night Raw. I believe Ashton's going to join later in the night. Open the Dead's going to stop by. So we should see some people happen in here throughout the evening as we're in for the long haul. Again, WWE announcing this could be upwards to 3.5 hours tonight. 3.5 hours, folks. Buckle up. It's going to be a late one. Glad to be doing this as a watch party as opposed to doing a after review, knowing that it would be on extremely late to do any after one. So kudos to everybody who's doing their post-show reviews of Monday Night Raw tonight for, you know, really kicking it in. And yeah, I mean, you guys are troopers. You're real troopers. I got to give you that. All right, so it's 7. Come on, Netflix. What are we doing here? Anybody else having any better luck than I am? Mine has not started. It says live right now. Don't know how it's not working. What is going on? Okay, live now. Yes, live now. We get it. Live now. How do I play you? This is weird. Maybe my clocks are off by a minute or two, or are they having technical difficulties? I'm really not sure. This is odd. This is so very, very odd. I don't know what. Oh, here we go. Oh, no. Still no. Nope. Here I was thinking I got the right thing clicked on. Watch live. Okay, we're good. We're good. We're kicking it off. There we go. Okay, so yeah, just kind of recapping everybody coming in, joining the Judgment Day and Liv Morgan. There's Rhea Ripley heading on in. I'm going to have my volume turned way down so we don't get any bleeding audio coming through. Hopefully don't get any stoppages from the WWE in the process of doing this. But again, I don't have it on too awfully loud. Hopefully it won't cause an issue. But yeah, though, so far so good. I mean, it's kicking in. We can see everything. It's working. So far, no buffering issues. Looks like a fairly packed house there from what we can tell. Boring updated logo, but it works, I guess. What are we kicking off with here? So this is some sort of video screen right in the center of the ring. Okay, this is the cold open that was released earlier that you could check out from the WWE. I gotcha. And it's kind of playing on like what seems to be a video, like a screen right in the center of the ring or something like that. I can't. Is that what everybody else is seeing too? It just seems to be like it's a drape right across the entire ring so that everybody gets like a 360 view of this thing in the arena tonight. It's not too shabby. It's kind of cool. I don't mind that. So, what do you guys think of this cold open? If you've seen it already, or if you haven't, I thought it was. I mean, it was touching. It's very well produced. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. The WWE have money to throw at production and stuff like that, putting these video packages together. But it's nice. It works. It's what gets a person hyped up for these kinds of things. So it's just one of those things. It's working out in their favor. All right. So, yep. Well, they're going to kick off in a big way, I'd imagine. All right, so now they've cut away from the actual 3D screen, or like we see in the arena. Now we're just getting the actual visuals on our screens here playing. I think so. As it's kind of gone along, they've changed from the view of inside the arena to the view that you would see on your screen regularly. Now they've gone back to the arena portion of it and recapping the very end of this thing. Everybody seems to, be lighted up. Cell phones are out, taping this thing. Looks like the Fireflies are strong tonight. Oh, and the net comes down to Triple H right in the center of the ring. Nice touch. Nice production touch. Kind of curious to see what he says. All right, nice little way to kick off with the promo work from Triple H. Asking if are we ready, and yeah, it's time to kick it off. Time to kick off the Netflix edition. Time to get rolling. Let's get on with some wrestling. The Netflix. Oh, please don't call it the Netflix era. It's fine. Like, why do we have to label eras all the time? It's just fucking wrestling. It's not an era. Of course, it's ushering in a new generation of wrestling or a new. I mean, sure, it's a new era, fine, but God, we put so much eras on everything these days in pro wrestling that it's like so unnecessary. A lot of Netflix-based signs, and they're looking for them in the arena tonight. Hi, Mom, I'm on Netflix. Raw is Netflix. Oh, who's coming out? Who is up first? Dark in the arena, and what's going on? Oh, it's The Rock. Right off the start, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Of course, you got to kick it off big. The internet is exploded. The Rock has come home to Netflix, where he's probably signed a deal to make 8 million more terrible movies. What does Rocky got to say for himself? I love how forgiving pro wrestling fans are, because it was only just at the end of WrestleMania season that The Rock was still the heel and bent and booed. This was the guy we didn't like. We didn't like him because he was the guy who wasn't on Cody's side. He was the guy who just about screwed Cody out of his title match. All this jazz. And now he is getting a pop of the century. Okay, I like having the fans so close there on the sides like that, old school style entrance type thing. Nice touch. I know they did that with Saturday Night Live as well, or Saturday Night's main event as well too. I think it's brilliant to do that. I like that touch. Fantastic. Curious to see what Rock's got to say for himself here. Of course, these entrances, man. This is why this show's gonna be 3.5 goddamn hours. Entrances. Come on, Rock's got to go hug 60,000 people at ringside, shake a million hands, kiss a few babies. You're going to get to the meat of the matter here. Grab a mic here, bud. Oh, no, people's titles being watched over. All right. They're about the gazing eyes. Of course, that's the problem with having a TV up above this high and having the setup down lower kind of thing. I got the gaze goes up quite often throughout the stream, but I will be quite often looking down here to make sure I keep in good touch with everybody. Oh, Rocky's looking gray with the stubble there. Woo! Did you just say the largest gate in the history of the WWE? WWE's come back to Netflix. You mean arrived at Netflix there, Rocky? Arrived at Netflix, not come back to Netflix. All right. Finally, The Rock has come back to Los Angeles. Finally, can we get this on the go? So this is just like shout outs to the Netflix fam and Netflix people, and let's pump the nads of Netflix for a while. Thought Rocky said he wanted to get the show on the road. So thank you to Cody Rhodes, who is sitting in amongst the fans. There's the true people's champ sitting right there in the audience. Probably paid for half the tickets of the front row people there watching with him. Oh no, he's got to acknowledge Roman Reigns. So they're just name dropping here. Acknowledge Cody, acknowledge Roman. This is a fucking thank you speech at the Oscars. Can I fast forward live television? Oh my god. So now Rock's hugging Cody. It's all just lovey-dovey so far. But he told Cody he was going to come back and challenge him and all this jazz, and he's just out there hugging. Make love, not Raw, apparently. Oh, so we're just going to kick off with Solo versus Roman right away. So Netflix did say there's going to be limited ads or some sort of ads that are going to be in here. Kind of curious how that plays out. So far, no like commercials. I mean, that 100% kudos to that. Pat McAfee, Michael Cole on commentary here tonight. I'm sure Netflix is really excited to get a name like McAfee on the commentary desk. All right. Now Roman's entrance. I mean, the presentation of Roman feels big, and it should feel big. I mean, we're talking about a guy who's like seriously, one of the most old people, especially like over like newer generation. Anyway, this will be interesting. What direction do they take the bloodline next? Because it doesn't end here. What's everyone's predictions for what is going to go down? I'm kind of curious. Roman gonna win. Isn't Paul Heyman on the line as well too? His services are on the line. Something screwy's gonna happen. Something real screwy's gonna happen. Almost 30 minutes into this broadcast, no wrestling. I mean, I should know better. I haven't watched a full episode of Raw in so long, but I should just know that wasn't going to change. Didn't matter. This wasn't going to become a wrestling centric program all of a sudden out of nowhere. It's all about their presentation, their flashiness, all that jazz. There we go. There's his credentials. 6-time WWE champion, 1-time IC champ, 1-time US champ, 1-time tag champ, 2015 Royal Rumble winner, the tribal chief Roman Reigns. Wonder how many people are going to drop into this stream on YouTube thinking that I'm actually playing the video live for them. Sorry. Boneheads. Yeah, that's a fairly good pop there for Roman. That crowd loves this guy. Ring's all deckled up, all those sponsorships, Fortnite in the middle of the ring, Netflix attached to there. Man, they've sold their souls to the devil. No, never mind. Actually, they sold away from the devil. The devil is who started them. Well, not started them, but his family started them. This match is scheduled for one fall. Oh, yeah, this is tribal combat rules. Sikoa getting a sea of boos from the WWE Universe. Oh, give that mic to Heyman. All right, let's get it on with. He's the reigning, defending, and OTC. And the OTC chants are now echoing through the arena. Echoing. OTC. OTC. I say more fought too. More fought too. So yeah, no censorship on the audience chants. Fantastic. Well, that'll be nice. No censorship on that stuff. Well, that's perfect. Oh, here we go. Up next, Tribal Combat. Here we go. Here's the commercial portion. Here's what we've been waiting for. Netflix commercials. Oh, they're just WWE commercials. Okay. So WWE needs to just run their own commercials. Or what is this? Oh, no. Just a video package. And they're just kind of running through the history of the bloodline. So yeah, I guess instead of ad breaks, it's just the video packages that we would get leading into matches, typically on a pay-per-view. I mean, it's somewhat reversed order. That's about all I can say about it. It's somewhat reversed order. Go on, where's Fatu in this situation? Something greasy's got to happen in this match, right? Like, come on. It's got to be the case. There's no way this ends without some, like, this isn't just going to be a clean Roman win. Something, they're going to pull some sort of trigger here. Especially, you've got a no rules matchup, and it, yeah. When I say clean, too, I mean, this isn't going to end with just a one-on-one with some, tables and chairs and shit like that. There's going to be people involved. It's going to be some sort of crazy finish to it. There's got to be. It's just not a bloodline matchup without some sort of wild, wacky finish. Tribal Combat. Here we go. Bell's rung. Match is underway. Match starting off with a collar and elbow tap. Nice to see. Nice to see. I like the black canvas. I got to say that I do like quite a bit. Feels more MMA-ish type thing, or like some sort of boxing or something along those lines. I know not all boxing rings have that, but I like the black canvas. Always been a fan of the black canvas. Both guys to the outside of the ring, back and forth. Now Roman seemingly struck into that LED post, cell on the back of his head, like he got clonked on the back of the head there. And right away, straight to the announce table. A shiny looking announce table, damn it. Feels like a bit of an upgrade. Hi, Ed.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm done vomiting at the look of this mat. So,
Really? I actually don't mind that. That was
oh my god, it's so sickening.
the
The
dark
black
canvas.
mat looks great, but all the fucking logos make it look like fucking 90s WCW, and I can't stand it.
I don't know. To me, it kind of reminds me of just like what like MMA or boxing or that type of sporting type thing. So that I was complimenting.
I'm not. But look at these sponsorships. And again, this goes to a thing that we should have scrolling at the bottom of the screen. The Saudi Arabia deal, including the Royal Rumble, is a piece of garbage and it's blood money. And we oppose it here at our local establishment. Real American beer is essentially piss that Hogan gives you. We don't acknowledge it here. It is not our tribal chief. We don't even acknowledge it as alcohol. So the four corners of this ring are four logos that I don't want to see.
Oh, fair. Like what logos they are, I agree with you 100%. I don't mind the idea of the logo.
I also don't need the Snickers logo, and I sure as hell don't need the Fortnite logo in the middle.
See, I don't again, the logoing, it wouldn't bother me so much. There's certain companies, sure, but the logoing itself isn't the problem for me.
I mean, I guess the Prime thing made it a little bit better, but I mean, I was opposed to the Prime thing too.
Yeah, that's how I felt too after it, was that it kind of reminds me of like MMA, UFC type stuff. So it's kind of got that sports type feel to it. I think that's kind of what they're hoping for.
That's fine. I get it.
Yeah.
And if it gives us less commercial breaks, I'm fine.
Are you serious?
Like, the new announce table looks great. The new stage with the 360 seating looks great.
Yeah. I almost spelled UCF, which yeah. Okay, so didn't they just say it was going to continue in just a moment, and then it just continued? How does that
They're
work?
still getting used to it. Michael's been doing commercial breaks for 20 plus years. He sees 8:38 on the time clock, and he goes, "Oh, got to go to commercial break."
No, but like even on the screen, it said we'll be, or like tribal whatever continues or something like that kind of thing. But we got commercials. Yeah, well, I mean, I don't have the commercial based Netflix. Like, I have the higher tiered Netflix, and all I got was okay. So during when they said they were cutting to break last time, it was just a long promo explaining the bloodline, and just now
we got some kind of ads for Netflix Puff.
Oh, okay. So yeah, no, mine continue with WWE based content. That
US services will still get like I just went to commercial for Twisted Tea.
oh, okay.
So I'm now
And
in a commercial for Twisted Tea.
Okay, so you guys are in a commercial because mine is still continuing with the match. I'm watching the match right now.
Internationally, it's going to be that way like everything else. So like the
Oh,
WWE
crazy.
Network, when we would go to commercial for Peacock, you guys would get a video package or something else. It's going to be the same thing.
Weird. Yo, Throwback, what's up, buddy? How are you doing? Good to see you in here. I should say, and so it's similar to Peacock in that aspect, then just like you were explaining as well, too. And we did for Wings. Yeah, okay, crazy. Yeah, I didn't know how it was going to pan out or what the deal was or anything, but I mean, I'm so used to seeing WWE cram in like 15-minute long advertisements for their own stuff that didn't really come as a shock to me at all. So that's what I mean with the "we'll be right back" for us, but not for you. LOL. Yeah, okay, so that's fair. Then I mean, they weren't really wrong in that whole aspect because they're not going to change it based on the US version or the Canadian version with the broadcast itself in terms of the graphic on the screen or anything like that. They're not going to.
Yeah, you'll see the same graphics we see, but like AEW, when if you've watched AEW on the UK services, you know how they just have commentary keep going and they make jokes and have fun. It's gonna be the same thing.
Okay, fair enough. Brody's watching on the iPad and he got WWE on the monitors. Oh yeah, man. In Peacock, we get some WWE commercials sometimes. Yeah, and that seems to be all we've got. Or again, like I don't know if you guys are back from commercial break now.
Nope. We got Shifting Gears. My new favorite show, and it hasn't even aired yet because it's got Kat Dennings and Tim Allen in it.
Oh yeah.
And Sean William Scott.
Fair
Very
enough.
excited for this show. It starts Friday, I believe.
Yeah. But yeah, no, we're in the ring right now. Like Solo's beating the tar out of Roman with a chair at the moment. I'm curious to know what they come back to from the commercial break.
Well, I will let you know as soon as they get there. I will let you know.
All right, Astrid saying back from commercial. I'm assuming they did that because it's right when Solo's holding up the tribal chief salute.
Oh, okay, yeah, I wasn't live. I just realized that now. Yeah, he was beating him with the chair when we came back.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of a cool experience. The fact that we get that,
everything.
Rock has to come in on this. I mean, he might.
I mean, he's still ringside, isn't he?
Probably. I mean,
you've also got like. He never walked to the back.
You've also got like 600 Samoans in the back. I'm pretty sure there was probably like 15 more of them born in the last 10 minutes. So you never know what could happen.
I am indeed fake news.
We are the best unsourced news site on the web. Oh, he missed.
I mean, I'm sure as hell fake news. I don't know about you.
I don't report nothing. It's easier for me to not report anything because then I'm never actually wrong. Because it's all just opinion based. He hugged his mom before Solo's music. Okay. Who's texting me? Okay.
This is, by the way, can we just talk about? I know I didn't mention him when I was talking about my wrestler of the year when it came to the men in WWE.
Yeah.
But can we just talk about how good of a year Solo Sikoa had as a character?
Fantastic year. His in-ring got a lot better too. A lot better.
I agree, it got better, but he was at such a disadvantage with so many guys working so hard, so well for the course of the year. Between guys like Seth, who even took time off. But Seth, people forget, before he left in the beginning of the year, and the work he did at Mania weekend with that injury to just keep going. Like, that Seth had a great year. Damian Priest had a great year. But Gunther was just levels above, as Roman would say, everybody else.
Well, and credit where credit's due in terms of Solo, because when they first put him into the position they were priming him for, it was a position that was extremely well suited for Jacob Fatu, who they didn't necessarily have or know they were going to have when they started the push of Solo Sikoa. And in face of bringing in a guy who is as good as Jacob Fatu, Solo Sikoa still managed to shine in the role he was in.
Yeah. And I think it helped that they gave Jacob Fatu this really fun, interesting, funny sidekick guy role too.
I love you,
While
Solo.
while treating him completely serious. Like, with the exception of "I love you, Solo" is the only words he speaks on television. They've taken Jacob Fatu seriously.
Yeah.
When they present him in the ring.
Yeah. Well, and just wait. The thing is like anybody who knows already knows what Jacob Fatu can do on a microphone. They know just how badass he can be when he wants to be. So when they unleash the true Samoan werewolf, like I almost feel like the next incarnation of the bloodline, when Fatu essentially takes over, is going to be one of the most violent, scary versions. Almost like the bloodline version of what Fatu was doing over in MLW with Contra.
Yeah. Most likely.
And here comes the tables. Netflix budget. Let's blow it in one night.
Well, I mean, they've been pretty good so far with not blowing the budget.
I know.
I mean, they know JP and Pluggo, but they're doing all right.
Well, we don't have to show Papa Smoke's ticker tonight, so we're good.
Oh, I mean, we could show his ticker and just make this show really go off.
Just for the hell of it. You can't see him, but he's here in spirit. You can find Papa Smokes over at.
I mean, we should always tell people where they can find Papa Smoke, especially this week where you guys have a trip through the territories over in
New
Australia,
Zealand.
right?
New Zealand. Yep.
Very much the opposite.
The Divine Light, James Shaw, is going to be joining us for that one. And also David Dunn, who is a general manager, ring announcer for various companies in New Zealand as well, too. So
and a New Zealand wrestling historian. Let's not forget that piece here.
Actually, David Dunn, not so much the historian side. There is another. No, there's another guy who may be joining us, and if he does, he's the deeper historian. David Dunn knows a deep history through. I think I was told about the late '80s, early '90s, and forward. And the OST guy who might be joining us is one who knows like the in-depth. He's like the Papa Smokes of the group.
Oh, okay.
David Dunn's like the me, and OST is like the Papa Smokes.
Okay, OST. I mistook OST and David Dunn together, and I was like, because I remember James was saying, he's like, I need to get you Dave Dunn, and then he started talking about a historian, and I assumed that they were the same person.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it depends on OST's schedule if he's joining us or not. But the other two are definitely joining us. It's gonna be a fun time. I don't mean
very early in the morning for them.
No, actually, early afternoon.
Oh, for them it'll be early afternoon.
Yeah. The reason we couldn't do it in December is because the day before, like, they got kind of a last minute show offer to go do.
Yep.
And everything. And my policy is, if you're getting paid, you go get paid. Like, don't worry about us.
We're not going to pay you. So if you have a chance to get paid, please go get some money.
Yeah, you go make that money. So they were so worried, like, oh, really sorry. Like, no, don't be sorry about it. Go make your money. It's all good. We were able to do what we do normally, is just come up with something and roll with it. It was fine. And now we've got it all set up, ready to go. Bob Smokes and I have been watching some matches on YouTube from back in the 80s, or even earlier than that. Oh, there we go. There's the table spot. That going to be it? No, there's no way it ends like that. No way. There we go.
All right, so now I'm slightly ahead of you.
Oh, you're ahead.
I went live again, and now I'm ahead of you.
Weird.
Because you said it's not going to end like this. And I'm like, well, no, it's how much time we just pulled the referee out.
No, okay. Like a split second or two. That's strange.
Yeah.
Like, I'm watching it through my television, and like, it's, as far as I know, I'm live.
Oh, there's Bobby's favorite right here.
Oh, yeah. Mess him up, Jacob. There we go.
Look at Tama Tonga being safe, getting that shit half of the table out of there.
That's right. Got to clear the way for Jacob to do his damage.
No, but I'm just not used to Tama Tonga being the one worried about people's safety.
There he goes. Pure athleticism.
Oh, the things Jacob Fatu could do is incredible.
Yeah.
Just sheer incredible.
Even more so now that he trimmed up too. Like he's even scarier now that he lost the weight.
And to think this is Jacob Fatu after having lost weight. And he's still a big old boy.
Yeah.
Like he's still running what? 240? 220,
Something like
240?
that. Yeah. Well, I mean, he just really converted the fat into muscle, which I mean, muscle weighs more than fat anyway. So weight wise, he didn't really change. He just changed physical appearance wise.
He looks great. I mean, he's no Roman Reigns, but he looks great. Oh, bye, Chad. We need a new referee. Chad Patton's down.
Yeah.
Oh, I keep forgetting I'm ahead of you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but that's so strange too, because it's not like mine is actually behind or anything like that. Like I'm live according to my television. Yeah, you're watching live, so okay. Yeah. Oh. Figured there had to be just everybody that they could have involved.
It's tribal combat. Everybody's going to be involved.
Yeah. They really should just pull all the extras. Everybody who's in training, everybody they've signed that they haven't announced. Let's bring Lance out there just because.
We've still got a potential Paul Heyman heel turn.
We do. This is like the Avengers Assemble scene, says Astrid.
No, this is nothing like WrestleMania.
Yeah, get a new official out. Oh, the new official's coming. Oh. Hey, how come Fatu didn't stop that official from getting in the ring? Oh,
because he knew Solo was kicking out. That's why. Because we knew Solo was kicking out.
He's got to check on his boy on the outside too. I mean, like could have been some injury or something like that. Let Dr. Fatu take care of business.
Dr. Fatu was like, "Are you dead? No. Okay, then fight."
Good. Yeah, get up.
Or are you dead? Yes. Okay, that's no excuse. Fight anyways.
Yeah. Well, this is awesome chance.
Well deserved. This is. I mean, it's long, but this is Bloodline, so
It's
it is what it is.
It's what you knew would happen in terms of the overbooking portion of it. It's just not a Bloodline match without the overbooking portion of it.
That was a surprise.
Okay.
I mean, it makes sense, but I didn't see it coming.
Is that going to do it? No, probably not. Go figure.
That was a surprise.
Yeah.
But good long-term booking. He's mad at Cody for helping Roman, so he has an opportunity to hurt Roman, so he does it.
Yeah. I didn't expect it like Mania, but a close second with everybody involved. Yeah, now here comes Cody.
But again, at least they're telling stories with all of this. Like,
True.
Kevin Owens has an issue with Roman Reigns. He's always had an issue with Roman Reigns. That makes sense. Cody has an issue with Kevin, so now Cody's involved.
Kevin Owens has an issue with anybody who has flesh.
I mean, typically, but it is what it is.
He's a really pissed off man. I'd hate to see what his blood pressure's at. They're fighting it through the audience. All right. Now who's next? Who's next? Bring them all out.
We still got Rock and Paul to
Yeah.
play with here.
Oh. So, back and forth, back and forth. Oh, there's the spear.
People are hyped.
His gray hairs agree with you. Rocky's gray hairs on his Beard,
on
we're
his
looking
beard.
pretty good tonight. That's why I'm like refusing to ever grow my beard back out. I just know how gray that thing's coming in. Well, there you have it. Roman wins it.
The only tribal chief. Okay.
The only tribal chief.
I didn't know it was only. I always thought it was
One
original.
time original. Yeah, well, I mean,
I always thought it was
I
original.
kind of thought that too, actually.
They're just making up. It's like CM Punk now. They're just making up shit. Because Cole just said original.
Yeah, but WWE, I mean, they've never been known for making things up in the past at all.
No,
Yeah.
WWE making up a narrative that
No.
suits them and only them. No, never.
No.
He would never do something like that. Like, look at the wonderful kingdom of Saudi Arabia. It's so wonderful.
Ugh.
You should come here and love them.
Ugh.
Fuck that bullshit.
That turns my stomach even thinking about it. Oh, here comes Rocky. Here comes Rocky.
By the way, I'm putting this out there now on behalf of our local establishment team. We're going to be doing charity stuff for Royal Rumble 2024.
2026.
If we're monetized, 2026. If we're monetized by then,
yeah,
that
of
will
course
be a
we are.
charity thing.
Yep.
Because I'm not taking money from Royal Rumble coverage for a Saudi show. Fuck that shit. So from here to there, our goal is to get monetized, and if so, I think I want to find a nice charity, maybe Sammy for Syria.
If he's got
That's
a
wonderful
charity,
No, at least that's a charity that like we know and respect, and it's run by Sami Zayn.
yeah, I'd 100% be down with that. All for that.
Like I just did it without asking anybody. It was like, this is what we're gonna do.
No, I'm not against that at all. I'm 100% on board with that.
Because if I'm gonna have to cover a show in Saudi Arabia as a big four, I want to at least make it feel like it's important enough that we're doing something good about it.
So,
All right, High
Rock-
Chief Solani.
He's High Chief's gonna turn here, isn't he? I mean, because we all totally forgot about how much of a heel he was only a few months back, right?
Yeah, I know. He was all nice to Cody Rhodes in the opening.
Yeah, you carried this company on your back for 1 year. No, I'm pretty sure that was a collective carrying on the back for the last year, but
Oh, it sure as hell wasn't just Cody. Oh, all right. Hey, I've been waiting for this match at Mania for 4 years. Please give it to me.
you didn't get it last year, but maybe this year just makes more sense.
Maybe.
It never needed a belt on the line. That I think
I
is
agree.
the key ingredient here. You never needed the belt for this match to be big. It's
Nope.
a main event match without a belt required.
Absolutely. This is probably a bigger match than any other match they can run at
Yeah.
Mania, to be perfectly honest with you.
Well, they're
Especially
going-
with them calling Roman Rock a High Chief this week, this show.
Yeah. And then of course, that's going to be the build to it, right? It's you might be the tribal chief, but you're never going to be a high chief, right? Like,
I mean, he probably will. The funny thing is, to be the tribal chief, I'm assuming he would have to be a high chief. As
oh,
Cole
of course.
today, to wear the Ulafala, you have to be a high chief.
Yeah.
I'm assuming. I would assume Roman's a high chief in general,
Most
especially with
likely.
his bloodline, especially with his side of the bloodline being lacking right now. With
But at
the
the same-
unfortunate passing of Alpha and Sika,
Yeah.
Roman would probably be next in line.
Yeah. At the same time, that's going to be what they're going to use in terms of trying to build.
Oh,
it.
absolutely.
Yeah. Trying
it
to say
makes
it's like
sense.
you've only reached this level, but if you'll never reach my level kind of thing.
I always said that the match should have been built on the fact that Roman Reigns is the tribal chief of the Kiddies stable
Yeah.
because of all the success that The Rock has had and everything he's done. He's the true tribal chief. I'm the chief who puts food on the table for everybody else.
So Punk and Rollins That is
And
going to
that'll
be
be
the
a good match.
longer match. It's going to be the longer one of the night for sure.
Probably, but it's like, look, I'm not here for Phil. I don't like Phil. I don't want Phil. But you know what? If he's got to be here, at least let him wrestle guys that are going to make some sense and have some fun. Him versus Rollins is going to be a good match. It's going to draw money, and you know what? It'll probably be fine. I think Rollins will be willing to do business, even if he doesn't personally like Phil.
I
guarantee you there's got to be some issues between them still, because
Sure.
I don't know how easily I'd forgive and forget. Oh! I need that jacket, that Tiffy time like fucking leather jackety type. Like, I don't know if you guys had it, but like, you know, like the football players, they had those special jackets. They have a Tiffy time one, and I kind of want that now.
Yeah. Oh, I saw it here because it's the same commercial list for this.
The
Hi,
big
Kat. You coming to
fucking
join?
chicken sandwich.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, real men wear pink. It's fine. I'm not opposed to wearing pink.
You wouldn't believe at PPW how many, like, okay, first the Rhinestone Cowboy pink shirts, sold tons of them to the guys there. Now Sheik with his what is it, the jacked beautiful bold whatever certified beauty, that's it, Jack Bold and a certified beauty or whatever it says. The pink lettering version of that is sold better than any other version of that shirt.
By the way, cheers to Sheik Shabazz, man.
Sheik Shabazz,
My favorite PPW wrestler.
Yeah,
behind
former champ.
I mean, right there with El Assassino, the two guys that hate Bobby the most.
They do. In fact, Sheik was telling me he was going to sell me 13 of his shirts till he realized that I was none of the things listed on his shirt. So,
good job, Sheik. Good job, Sheik. But it's guys like him that make indie wrestling great. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of indie wrestling, this Friday night, I've got a nice, fun show. Pandemonium is back for Chaotic. Yep.
Nice.
Let's see if I can pull up a card here for Chaotic Wrestling's Pandemonium.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, they deserve. They definitely deserve a shout out all the time.
Yeah. Well, I got to go to their Twitter.
Right. Pop
I know some of the matches, but I just want to make sure that I got.
Thursday.
Absolutely. Chaotic. There you are. All right, what do we got? I know we've been releasing match graphics the last few days. Dijak will be back for Pandemonium.
Nice.
Local legend John Walters is taking on WWE ID's own Evil Gay Aaron Rourke. We've got Aiden Aggro taking on DJ Powers, taking on Trigger the OG in a triple threat dual title match. But, Bobby, this will make you very happy. Whichever champion is pinned will lose their respective title.
Okay.
So we've got two champions in this match, and we got a hotshot dumbass named DJ Powers.
Okay.
And so they're basically saying it's a triple threat match, but if one of the champions gets pinned, they lose just their title, so they don't have to try flopping all these titles all over the place, which I'm sure Bobby can respect.
I do respect that. I respect that decision.
Yeah. We got a 7-way battle royal to determine the last spot in the Pandemonium main event. Got some good people in here, especially Spike Nashimura, who's just over with Sendai Girls in Japan. Oh, we got our Penta.
Yeah.
Even says Penta this week.
What was the new name? Oh, does it? Okay, so he's Penta, but he's not Penta. They given him like a new Penta name because doesn't he change Penta names every single time that he goes to a new company?
Yeah, because he was Penta Obscura in Mexico, and then he was Pentagon, and then when he was working with what's his name? Oh God, what's his awful name? Vampiro, that's the one. Yeah. When he was working with Vampiro and Lucha Underground, they changed it to something else. I think it was Pentagon Dark.
I got to interview Vampiro during pandemic times. We did we went to we did a like PPW in conjunction with the Broadway Theater in Saskatoon did a
nice.
showing of the Nail in the Coffin documentary, and afterwards we got to do a like on the big screen a live Zoom interview with Vampiro. So I got to conduct the interview, and man, did it sucked in so many ways because like I had all these questions that people had written in, fans of PPW had written in that I was reading on their behalf, and like they were such marky little questions. I think even at one part, like Vampiro kind of stopped and he's like, man, didn't anyone write some good questions? Like, don't you have anything juicy here for me? Because this is starting to suck. Like he just flat out says it right in the middle. Like I was just like, yeah, you're right. And I'm just trying to be the nice guy, just reading out people's shit. So,
but I mean, at least he's not blaming you. Like he's like, come on, because
yeah.
like he understood you were just reading people's questions.
Yeah, no, he was good about all that kind of thing.
Oh, this is a cool drone shot.
Yeah, this is really actually kind of cool. Like that. I wish I was a drone when I go to a arena like that because then I could actually maneuver in and out.
Oh, look at Ray and LA Knight with the War Raiders behind commentary right now. LA Knight signing autographs. Oh, Isla.
Mm-hmm.
Gabriel Iglesias. Fluffy.
It's pretty much Netflix's go-to comedian for stand-up comedy.
Yeah, but at least he's good. Oh, look, Ashton Kutcher. Oh, okay. Mikey Che.
Yeah, you're still that split second ahead.
Well, they were even ahead of their own camera because they were talking about Michael Che while they were still on Ashton Kutcher.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe we're not that far off then. I've just got my audio down. Like I can hear it to a degree, but I just don't want it to leak through, and I didn't have a better way of setting it up tonight. So.
It's all good.
There we go. Showing off the Eddie jacket. Nice. Good job, Ray.
I like how Mark's going off in the wrestling chat and me and you are just here talking about stuff.
Yeah, like, if you want to talk, get your ass in here.
I'd love to see Wale do something with the New Day tonight. So what else we got going on here tonight? Oh,
who's up?
He's making his contractual obligated appearance in every town they can on his farewell tour.
Yeah. Begins night one of the farewell tour.
You know what, though? Good for him. Like, I like the idea of taking a farewell tour. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, I applaud it, to be honest. Like, if he can do it and not get injured during this farewell tour and get the proper send-off and everything, and he sticks to it. And I mean, I don't mean sticks to it like we never see him in WWE ever again. I think more like we just don't see him wrestle again, which is fine. Come back and be in somebody's corner in a big match one day, or come back and do some backstage work or help out the next generation, which Cena always seems eager to do. He seems eager to put over that next generation so that WWE can thrive even in his absence. He wants the next John Cena to exist, especially now that
and it's so really funny because this is the guy that for so long people were like, he doesn't care about the next generation. All he cares about is himself.
Yes, when he was the guy making the money, that might have had a little bit more truth to it. Now that he wants the company to do well because that means he can go off and make even more money doing big Hollywood movies, which, you know, again, he's had some big ones. He's
Yeah.
also had some really bad ones. I'd say his good outweighs The Rock's good for movies.
Oh, God, yeah.
far, by a long shot.
But I think it also helps that he likes comedy roles, and Rock's trying to take on action roles. Although Red
Yeah.
One, I'll sit here and say Red One was fantastic. I love Red One.
Oh God, I did not. I sat there
Oh, I love
laughing for all the wrong reasons the entire time. I'm like, what bet did all of these people lose in order to have to make this movie? All right, question. Will
Yep.
John Cena's promo go longer than The Rock's?
Probably.
Rock's approximately, what was it, 7-ish minutes? Like I said online, about the equivalent of an Oscars acceptance speech. Well, thank you, Cena chance. As opposed to the other you solo chants that we had earlier in the night that weren't censored. I mean, yeah, The Rock could have took a lot longer, Astrid, and I have seen it. I think I was expecting longer, but even with all of it, I was just like, I get it. But you already had Triple H do an intro, and then The Rock does an intro. Like, The Rock could have come out at like the second hour and done something similar to that, or they could have just had him. I'd see more purpose in Triple H starting the show off, and he should have just kicked it off, and then they could have gone to the first match and had The Rock involved. But then your first match is the Bloodline, so I see why you have to have the two intertwining. But yeah, who am I? I don't run $1 billion company. I don't know shit. So is Cena gonna wrestle tonight, or are we just getting like
I think we're just getting promo Cena tonight.
promo Cena? Come on, I want to open challenge Cena. He's doing a farewell tour. Show up on every program, every house show, every indie program you can.
Oh God, no, he's not doing
365-day
that.
retirement tour. Let's go.
I think we'll be lucky if we get 20 matches out of him this year. But even 20 is good for a guy who's part-time.
Look, Ashford says Logan interrupts and gets an AA. You'd get a massive pop for it. John Cena should just give an AA to everybody that the IWC hates with a passion. Like Logan Paul comes out, gets an AA, and then he goes backstage and finds Hulk Hogan and gives him an AA. LA is where the prototype was born. That goes way back. I remember seeing those videos of Cena back when he was the prototype, when he was doing the training and getting involved with OVW. And then right up to that first debut matchup, it's like, wonder if they're going to do something with this kid. Well, go figure.
I think they did a little something with that kid.
They did okay. But, you know, almost proof that the OVW system for a long time worked quite well in building stars.
Yeah. I mean, think of the class of 2000. What is it, 2004? What is his class?
So, yeah. Thought it was, no, was it 04? Was it as late as 04? Yeah, it might have been as late as 04.
Because whatever year the class, it's him, it's Randy, it's Shelton, it's Brock.
Yeah. Yeah, Shelton, Batista, Randy, Brock were all there at that time, and there's a lot of other names there too.
Batista
Yeah,
was the fifth one. Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
I mean, those,
And then Rico Constant, who everybody thought was going to be the star of the class. Remember that? If you go back and listen to the things, people are like, "Oh yeah, this Rico guy, he's going to be the star of this class."
Rico was a lot of fun.
In a different time, in a different place, in a different era of WWE.
Rico just unfortunately was put into a less than ideal character,
Box.
as many were in WWE. Funny to think that it wasn't even that many years ago that you had all the cynical fans talking about Cena sucks, and now there's not a soul out there that would be saying Cena sucks right now. They're just going to be cheering him on, rooting for him, especially if he sticks to this. I mean, he might be the first guy in wrestling history to say, I'm good, and actually be good.
Maybe. Very possible.
As opposed to some other people who basically have a retirement match in every company about once every 5 years. Then they create their own pay-per-view and they sell it as their last match. And then they say they got one more still in them when they're pushing 80 years old, because why not? Because apparently Woo Energy is enough to zombify your ass long enough to have matches well into your 80s. Oh, he just drops the bomb that a 17th championship is not going to happen for John Cena.
Mm-hmm. Which is exactly what you say when you're going to win your 17th world title.
Yeah. Here comes the Royal Rumble winner.
Yeah.
Like, if it's never going to happen, how come he already stated that he was going to be in the Royal Rumble? Or did he state he's going to be in the Royal Rumble or just at the Royal Rumble?
Or
now he's just name dropping all the opportunities that a person could capitalize on.
But I like
all you got to do is
like, look, I've been losing everything lately. Like that, I like that idea.
Yeah. All I got to do is win a Money in the Bank or an Elimination Chamber or Royal Rumble or one single match here tonight, which would probably be enough to justify Cena in a main event picture. Yeah, be in the Rumble. Do it.
I mean, I've seen the things. I'm down for him versus Cody at Mania. I kind of am.
Go for it. I'm not opposed to it. I mean, that gives Cody a large match for WrestleMania, a very large match, with enough to make a doubt about whether or not Cody's going to be the champion. I mean, that would be an easy way for them to crown Cena's 17th championship at WrestleMania. He doesn't have to hold it that long. In fact, he doesn't even have to take it away from Cody for that long. Cody could win a rematch very shortly after, because Cody is the champ that people love. Then Cena gets that accolade. He gets that WrestleMania title win. He gets that Royal Rumble victory, whatever the hell it is that they give to him to get to that picture.
And that puts Cena at, I believe, 3 Rumbles, wouldn't it? Is it 2 or 3 for Cena at that point?
I can't remember. Chat, help us out. 2 or 3 for Cena if he wins another. Oh, here we go. Logan Paul. Everybody's favorite. Said nobody ever.
It would be 3. That would be 3. Right. That would put him with Randy, I believe. Randy and Austin, right?
Austin won 3, yeah, I'm pretty sure. Because there hasn't been very many that have won multiple. So it's just one giant, like, why Logan Paul exists on planet Earth fucking video.
Well, they've got as much time as they want, so they're going to take full advantage of it.
He's been on the screen for less than a minute, and I already want to punch him in the face. And even though he's not on the screen, by association, I want to punch his brother in the face, too.
All right, now he's on the screen. Now we can hate him. Yeah. Randy 2, Austin was 3. All right, so if Cena wins, he joins Austin at 3.
So he's officially re-upped with the WWE then after everybody is
has indeed.
speculating that he was. Yeah, okay. Because everyone was sold it wasn't going to happen. Here we go. So this is Liv and Rhea, last woman standing.
Well, that depends on the advertising. It was originally advertised as Last Woman Standing, and then all of a sudden that branding went away on every promotional piece of paper, thing for the last week or so. So, God, I love these drone shots. I mean, it makes me sick because I'm not good with all that motion.
Well,
But can we
you
just
can't
talk
really-
about how cool it is to watch a wrestling show with an arena full of people?
Yeah. I just like, okay, again, like, I don't mind a small crowd as long as it packs the small stadium it's in. Like, I just like when it's full and people are having fun. So
It
if
doesn't
you're gonna-
have to be big. It just has to be full.
Yes, exactly. I don't care if your place only holds a few hundred people, as long as it's full and everybody's loud and having a good time. Then it's a wrestling show.
Yeah. Oh, look at the kitty.
Yeah. You still weirded out by the fact that I moved my setup into the living room for today so I could watch this easier. I was just going to put it on the computer at first, and I was like,
But
eh.
Bobby, I do want you to, at some point go play that grand piano that you have back there.
My grand piano. Yeah, I'll just get right on that. Astrid,
Well,
I
hello.
arrived just in time.
just in time for the ladies' match.
Queen of our local establishment. The
I didn't time that
Nastral.
just in case. No, I didn't time it just in case.
Well, back to commercials. SmackDown commercials.
And remember, for those of you that are here watching, me and Bob are going to stick here on the Video Bros Network throughout the entirety of this show.
Yes.
However, the Our Local Establishment portion of this will drop as soon as the girls are ready to go live for WCW tonight. Women's Classic Wrestling. As you do episode 5 of the Mae Young Classic? 6. Almost.
Is it? I thought it was 5. Did I get it
Don't scare
wrong?
me.
Because I looked on YouTube and the last one was listed as 4, I thought. And
But
so I
remember,
thought
they
this
did a
one-
double episode at one point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. So it's sorry,
Well,
it's
that's-
episode 5 of the show that we're broadcasting. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
We're
that's
good, we're
6
good.
Mae Young Classic. Yeah, don't scare me. I was gonna say,
I was
yeah,
like,
what's the-
no, I watched the wrong shows. No.
I watched the wrong episode.
No, we
Oh,
don't
wait,
need
look at the-
leaks from
no.
Reddit. Fuck Reddit.
No. No, instead we just need commercials telling us about the feud that happened between these two.
We also need to feud about this the Dog Man movie that I cannot. It's so wrong.
Which
So wrong. Bobby, please tell me you're not going to review that crap on our channel.
which movie?
Dog Man.
Dogman.
Oh, like the book. Okay,
No, there's a movie. There's a DreamWorks animated movie.
I know, but it's based on the book.
Oh, I don't.
Oh,
You are
this one?
definitely
Oh.
the Our Local Establishment book lady. So if you say it's a book,
No, I've seen the book. I've never read it. I know nothing about it other than I've seen it in passing. But, yeah,
Yeah, it's the book. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We'll see. I watch pretty much anything and everything, so we'll see. We'll see. Sometimes I'm surprised by ones that I have zero interest in. Like, for example, Better Man, the one about Robbie Williams. I was like, look, if you told me I was going to be watching a biopic about Robbie Williams one day and he was going to be portrayed as a monkey throughout the entire thing, I would have told you were nuts. I watched it and I loved it. I really, really loved it. It was so good.
all right. Well, we need to give Bobby a psychological exam.
Watch the movie and tell me I'm still crazy. Oh, I probably am.
Bobby, I mean, don't dare me to call you crazy after watching something, because I'll go through watching something just to still call you crazy, even if I disagree.
Oh, there's lots of stuff I've watched that makes me crazy. Trust me.
Like Taking Over, coming back tomorrow.
No, not that.
After me and Ashton spent the entire day catching up on 2 weeks of NXT.
I
I mean,
was thinking more.
thankfully,
Oh, sorry. go
it's
ahead.
not as long as we expect it to be, because I was trying to watch it on the CW app, and with their commercials, but not the regular commercials, and that went 24 minutes. So it's not 2 hours. At least
See,
it helps.
we get the same experience for this Netflix stuff across the board. So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
curious
yeah.
about-
You guys get NXT. You guys get SmackDown. You guys get the pay-per-views. You guys
No,
get
I'm-
everything. Fuck are you?
I'm just curious to see what it looks like.
I'm just screwing with you, Bobby. It's all good.
You guys have had the benefit of Peacock the whole time, so I mean, as much a
Yeah.
benefit as that
Oh, yeah.
is.
Oh, the benefit of Peacock. I'd much rather would have paid for the WWE Network.
Yeah,
If
but
I had
couldn't-
the money, I'd have had a
couldn't.
VPN. By the way, Bobby, we need to get on the VPN.
I mentioned that
um,
before. I mentioned that.
NordVPN.
I don't care if it's Nord or whatever one, but talk to them and get us some sponsorship here, man. I need
Okay.
I need a VPN sponsorship.
All right,
Mhm.
Seth Green, huh?
Oh, Macaulay Culkin. I mean, it's a couple weeks late for Macaulay Culkin to be on things, considering he is the Christmas child. But by the way, if you want an underrated Macaulay Culkin movie, Saved with Mandy Moore. Fantastic.
That is a great movie. Very good movie.
Dang.
Actually, you know what's funny is
Mm.
they got Macaulay Culkin there. His brother Kieran, who played Fuller in Home Alone, just won
Mhm.
the award for Best Actor in
Yeah.
a Musical or Comedy last night at the.
I was gonna
Golden
say the same thing.
Oh, Danielle Fishel just crossed the line from AEW to WWE. Surprisingly big wrestling fan for Topanga Lawrence. Miss Danielle
Mhm.
Fishel.
Oh yeah, that's the show I told Pop Smokes was his favorite one night on stream.
Which one?
Boy Meets World.
Oh, okay. Well, the shows are great. Oh, great. Xbox is here. No, let's go look at Nakamura.
This is just like a night of name drop and just look at who's all seated here in the arena. Our own people and some Netflix guys.
But hey, you know what? I'd much rather this than bad promos or bad stories or bad TV.
Fair.
Give me 10 minutes of name dropping celebrities so they can promote their bullshit on a quick 30-second pan through the crowd than having to have them go in the fucking back and pretend like they belong. Like, I don't mind Fluffy. Fluffy knows what to do. He'd be fine.
Yeah.
But I'm talking like, how many times have we seen bad celebrity promos backstage trying to hawk their
Mhm.
bullshit? God, these fucking laser lights.
Mhm.
I feel bad for people with epilepsy with all these fucking laser lights. If this is the last time these two wrestle for the foreseeable future, it still won't be quick enough.
You know what I didn't like about it, because I don't know where it came from, because I only seen like very handful of them. But it was like when the advertisement says the last woman standing, I was like, oh cool, this is the end of it all. And then all of a sudden there was no graphics for the last woman standing thing. So
Yeah.
I was like, so is it really the end? I don't know. And then not only that, but the fact that supposedly they're gonna give them only like 15 minutes. I was like, when you have 3+ hours and you only give them 15 minutes, I don't know. I'm like, if they really want to end it, I will give it a little bit more time than that.
Well, we are
My
an
computer's
hour and a
gonna do an
half in,
update, so
and
if
this
I-
is the
if I disappear-
second match of the night. 90 minutes, match number 2.
But you know what? This is their first night on Netflix. It isn't going to be like this every week. This is
Fair.
a special night, which is also why we're getting a 3+ hour show tonight, so they can fit time to fit all this in without robbing things of time.
Granted, with all the people they said that were going to be there, it felt like they were just going to have nonstop, like former WWE, like back in the day where it was like, it's Raw's 30th anniversary. Let's bring out everybody with an entrance and have them stand in the ring and look decrepit and old and sad and not be fun. At least this is like, look who we have here. And they're all sat at ringside with one quick shot of them.
That's a cool graphic, by the way, that they just threw up for Rhea Ripley's matches. She's 5-3 against in one-on-one matches against Liv Morgan, and she's 22-0 against everybody else with 2 no contests.
Wow.
Which just tells you how strongly they've tried to book Liv Morgan.
Uh-huh. And not only that, we still have Hogan to go.
I'm not talking about Hogan. Fuck the Hulk Hogan, courtesy of the Iron Sheik.
They could just put him on last so we could all tune out and we could just turn on the WCW podcast.
I know.
New gear for
You know
Rhea.
he's going to want to soak it in for like 50 minutes of
Mhm.
nonsense before he starts talking about things that make no sense and lying to the world about everything he's accomplished. You know, he was once tapped to be in Metallica. That was news to even the guys in Metallica.
I know we don't promote him a lot on here, but our good friend Jimmy has a great video series of Hulk Hogan lies. Those are great videos to watch. So yeah. Oh God, what the hell is Jimmy's podcast name?
Dropped out.
Yes, that's the one. Dropped out. Go ahead and check. If for nothing else, please go check out those ones. It's so great hearing all the lies that Hogan tells to make himself look good for no reason. Remember, Hulk Hogan is a terrible human being. Do not be like Hulk Hogan.
Well, have you heard about the the beach shop with his manager that also coincidentally has the name Ron Howard, who is like one of them? He's a bigger liar than what Hulk Hogan is, and people have gone in there
That's
just
not
for the experience
possible.
of dealing with him.
That's not possible.
You should go to that beach shop and find out for yourself.
If you give me the Olay credit card, I will go to the Hulk Hogan beach shop.
The Olay credit card. I would assume that Olay can pull credit. We would have to have money in the bank to pull credit. Come on, people, give us your
Why
money
would you
first.
send him when I'm closer?
This
Come on,
is true.
exactly. There we go.
He is located in Florida. But Ashford, out of the two of us, who would go there and actually like insult Hulk Hogan and do this for fun? Me or Little Miss Innocent Asher Bizarro, who's just gonna go there and just like look around and whatnot? I'll go
I
make a
already
scene.
been there. Been there once.
Oh, the chicken tender slut's getting involved, otherwise known as Dominic Mysterio. I saw Astrid's face, so I had to continue with that statement. I was just going to call him what I called him. For those that missed that was from a Rhea Ripley promo. That's not something I came up with. How does that feel, Liv? Oh, I
Poor
love
new
Michael
table.
Cole. Oh, I love Michael Cole. He's so great. Remember when we used to hate Michael Cole? Remember when we used to say that Michael Cole was the worst announcer in wrestling? I mean, behind with Vince McMahon the only one behind him.
So that's crazy. So what they do, it's like, so we'll be right back, and they kind of like it like does like a short fade transition, and then it just cuts right back for us.
We're now I'm now watching a cricket commercial with Otis and Chad Gable having the
Ooh,
cheer
I'm a little
song.
behind, so
Hit live, you'll be all set. I noticed I was behind too.
Liv just
Is
did a
that-
face
I was
break.
ahead of you guys because I had it on my iPad. Once I switched over to my laptop too, I can hear it with you guys. Then I got a little slower. No, let's see. Right?
Yeah, I made sure to put my headphones in so we
Okay.
don't leak any audio, like other watch-alongs that get in trouble for doing stuff like that.
That's why it's like I have my TV on, but it's really low. So like even at the start when The Rock and Triple H were doing their stuff, I'm like, okay, I'll mute the microphone, and if someone's in the chat, I'll turn down my TV if I have to. But I turned it up so I could hear a little bit more. But I'm like, I can hear enough vaguely to get through it. So
Yeah, I have it on my TV via my my computer, so I have it on my second screen so that I can have it as loud as I want to and still hear us. But I don't want to bleed audio because that's a number one way to get kicked off both Twitch and YouTube.
especially
having
with
bleeding
WWE
audio.
content, WWE loves to ban people.
Not as bad, not as much as New Japan, but pretty close.
Fair.
Mhm.
Speaking of New Japan, the story's coming out about Chris. I don't know what his last name is, but the announcer for New Japan World apparently being yelled at for his commentary about AEW and being pulled off New Year's Dash. From the wonderful world of Dave Meltzer.
I'll add that to the description right now, Astrid, for the show.
I thought you were gonna point out that they copyrighted the Tanahashi like pictures of him crying after Gabe versus Omega.
Are they doing that? Because I haven't seen that. I know he
They
cried.
did that
'cause I
on
watched
Twitter. Yeah, they copyrighted any pictures of him crying, and like you see the
God.
picture now, it says it's copyrighted.
Poor President Ace. He had an emotional moment and people are yelling at him. That's not nice. So I know what I'll be doing tomorrow before I go on before NXT starts. Me and Mom will be sitting here watching The Legend of Fluffy. Of course, I love Fluffy. For my birthday a few years ago, I went to go see Fluffy right here in Boston. I'm a very, very big fan of Fluffy. He is fantastic. I do suggest his comedy for anybody looking to have a good comedy show. That's not a sponsorship. That's just, you know.
Oh, that's called a shout out.
We don't do unpaid. I was saying we don't do unpaid sponsorships here on our local establishment. We just shout out products that we like, like Surfshark or NordVPN. No, I'm just kidding.
The only payments we get here are from the subs on Twitch, so keep those coming for now. But also those YouTube ones. But
Or
we're not on
start
YouTube
watching,
tonight, so, you know.
or just start watching all of our shows on YouTube. You know, over and over and over again, so we can get some watch hours up. So we can get some super chats.
Super chats would be nice.
Yeah, we can get monetized with some super chats, so we can go ahead and, you know, pay Astrid and Bobby for the use of StreamYard and Canva.
Oh, sorry. Now I'm just watching again.
It's fine. I'm just watching too.
Yeah.
Saturday night's main event, the next big WWE show coming up on my birthday, so I won't be here. Fuck y'all. Somebody else will do that show.
Jeez.
Mark will
I think
handle
I'm
it.
giving up my birthday for Saturday night's main event in San Antonio, Texas.
You didn't want to make the trip?
Oh, I would have gladly made the trip, but again, I did not have access to our local establishment credit card.
This is a mythical item you're talking about here.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm pretty sure it exists.
I don't even have a Bobby Munson credit card, let alone an OLE credit card. I'm not responsible. I'm money and name alone. That's it. That's
What the hell is Rhea trying to do?
I love Liv's gear though.
I mean, the new red gear is nice for Liv.
what a powerhouse.
Rhea, it really is like the perfect idea of a women's wrestler. She can cut a promo. She can wrestle a good match. She can go out there and sell merch. Like, she is the epitome of what women's wrestlers need to be. Like, aesthetic aside is, you know, people can love her or hate her, but like everything else that she does, babyface, heel, doesn't matter.
I think it's almost to the argument that it's like she's in that class of just like top star professionals.
Yeah.
Like there's a difference between a wrestler and a star performer, and Rhea tends to land in that level of star performer.
No, I think for me, just I don't like how they keep her booking her strong all the time, so it makes it boring in that aspect. That's the only thing I don't like about like her character, like as a whole. And it just when I see a Charlotte a little bit, I was like, you feel like you barely see her lose. But at the same time, like I want to see her be weak for a little bit. It happened during SummerSlam with the Dominic and Liv thing, and I feel like it's short-lived after that.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. They need to make more stars than one at a time in the women's division, like what NXT is doing. Yeah. NXT is making a multitude of stars in that women's division. Granted,
and this is the thing.
Go ahead.
compare it to SmackDown too, I feel like SmackDown has been highlighting more ladies lately than Raw has. Like Raw has
They're
been
trying
mostly
to.
Liv. Yeah, it's been mostly Raquel, Liv, and Rhea, and now a little bit of the Intercontinental Tournament, but it's mostly Liv and Rhea. And this is why I liked it when Becky was there, because with Becky there, at least there was some changes. There was more than one person on the spotlight there.
I think the problem is too is that Rhea's like on a different level in some ways where she
Mhm.
could believably be somebody competing against anyone. It doesn't need to be in the ladies division.
Mhm.
Rhea's
Mhm.
believable in a sense that she could be mixing it up with the top guys in this company and believably having competitive and victorious matchups with them. And I wish that WWE was at a place where they would allow that, especially when they have a star attraction such as a Rhea Ripley or a Charlotte Flair or someone who feels like they could fit that mold in today's landscape of professional wrestling.
I think her, like you said, Charlotte, and even Nia Jax. I feel like there's some of the few ladies that wouldn't mind it mixing it up with the guys every now and then. It's like, still to this day, one of the most iconic clips is the Baron Corbin with Becky, because that rarely happens between the guys and the girls, and especially nowadays.
I mean, Nia Jax in the Royal Rumble, in the men's Rumble.
Yeah. Mhm.
Mustafa Ali in his interview with Chris Van Vliet. If you haven't seen it, go watch that. Another
Yeah.
great shout out to a great interview. Also, his R-Truth interview is a wackadoo interview, but it's not bad. Mustafa Ali interview was much better though. But yeah, no, he talked about that spot, and apparently that wasn't even supposed to be Ali's spot. It was supposed to be somebody else's spot, and the
Yeah.
guy who was supposed to take it didn't want to. So JB Noble was apparently running around looking for somebody willing to get thrown out by Nia Jax.
I mean,
Like-
they've got to eventually allow Rhea versus Dom in some way, right? Like, I mean,
No, they don't have to. They should,
they should,
but they don't
They
have to.
got muddy written all over it.
Oh God, yeah.
Of all people, you want her to get revenge on him, and I feel like you won't even get to have that.
I don't know what it is about Liv that bothers me so goddamn much, but I can't stand her character at all. Her in-ring style, her character, nothing. Like, I feel like she oversells way too much. I feel like it's just like everything.
I don't
WWE was
really
like,
have a
she's
problem
the
with
best
Liv.
woman of the. She's like, she's the woman of the year. WWE, like, fuck you. There's like 6 ladies in NXT before her. Hell, I almost
Liv's
put
had a
Rhea ahead of her.
fantastic year, in my opinion. She's done really well and ran with what they've given her. Why not? I mean, she's worked for it. She's gotten to that point, and she's taken a hold of it.
But I don't feel like she's done anything with it. Like, they've pushed her to the nth degree. But what does she really come out of this with?
Well, that she's not just another player that they bring out every once in a while moving forward, even after she loses this belt, which is right now.
Wow.
But, you know, I mean, even after
Whoa.
this, she's still got that relevancy. I mean, she has done well enough for herself that, I mean, had they just immediately flopped the belt back to Rhea, I don't think that Liv's standing would have been as strong moving forward. But because of how they booked her after Rhea's return, I think that they've done enough to consider Liv a top name. And who knows? I mean, does she stick around Raw? Maybe she goes over to SmackDown, switches it up there. Who knows? Oh, here we go. Squash that little worm, Dominic. It's time.
Mhm.
We're on Netflix. It's okay. Cable TV
Mommy, I
doesn't
love
exist
you.
anymore. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Come on. Go on.
Is
Give him a good
anybody else
shot right in the
getting
Mysterios.
Is anybody else getting China vibes from Rhea's gear tonight?
Mhm.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, she
Go
did
in
hit
for
him right
that.
in the Mysterios.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yes. I love
Yes.
this.
Destroy them.
All right, good. Now we tell a news story with Rhea.
I know.
Preferably EO
Please.
Sky, if you don't mind.
Please.
I still would have rather the last woman standing, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, like don't advertise it if you're not going to pull the trigger.
I don't think they ever did. I think
I don't think they
somebody
did.
accidentally said
Mhm.
it.
No. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think somebody on camera accidentally said last woman standing. So they made a graphic about it, and then WWE just refused to say anything about it since.
Yeah.
What's it? What was what? Raw Talk, right? I think it was like Raw Talk where they were like, "It's a last woman standing match." Then nobody ever said it again.
No. I feel like if he would have advertised as the last woman standing, that would have made me think it's definitely ending tonight. Like this is the end of it all. But let's just hope they just give Rhea something that doesn't have to do with Judgment Day moving forward, please. Like let her be done with them now.
This is the story that never ends. It goes on, my friends. They started telling it, and they'll never fucking stop.
The bloodline?
No, Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan. Because here's the thing:
Accurate, though.
people are getting enjoyment out of the Bloodline story.
I'm getting enjoyment out of two top women doing their thing. I haven't been bored of it yet, but then again, I'm not a weekly watcher, so I can't get bored.
Yoda Tsuzushi! Yoda Tsuzushi! Come on, Yoda! Come on, Pip the Taker! Oh no, it's this one. Ooh, you're the bad Undertaker! You're the only bad version of him. I would much rather either your bisexual
wants to dye his hair
or your Japanese pimp version.
Like that's interesting. Right after Rhea's entrance, like, geez.
Yeah. New champion. Oh, by the way, you just got trumped by a legend.
At least she's excited about it.
Yeah.
Undertaker doesn't look as excited about it.
I don't know why he's not happy. His guy's going to be in office. His buddy Hulk's here. Like, everything Undertaker loves and enjoys is here tonight.
Looks like he's ready to compete.
God, no. Please, no. No more Undertaker. No more Undertaker matches.
I'm not saying he should. He's just taking a stroll around the ring. It's a little bike ride. Oh, Rhea going to hop on with him?
No, they're going to do the arm thing. At least they're using him to put her over as opposed to overshadow her, which I think is nice.
Yeah.
I feel like that really happens.
Who knows? Maybe that'll be Taker.
Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, no. Dom's still in the ring. I just realized Dom's still in the ring. Oh, no.
Taker could go have some leftovers.
I was going to. That's what I thought he was about to do.
Mm-hmm.
He could turn him into some chicken tenders.
Oh, look.
Or tendies, sorry. You got to get that right.
The new Sucky Day is here. Being party poopers like always.
They look like me at a party, just standing off to the side, minding my own business, having a drink, wearing a leopard skin coat.
Being lame?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Is this the first time WWE's doing TV at MSG in forever? March 10th, they're going back for Raw at MSG. They're not running the Barclays? On the road to WrestleMania? Wow.
Look at Bailey. She looks stunning.
He does. I love the purple hair.
Ooh, looks like a trade-off.
So did I hear something about there's like a, what do they call it? A roster window of sorts
The transfer window.
Transfer window. They're going to do this like sports now.
No. Basically, they're just allowing them to put people wherever they need them for the foreseeable future.
Fair.
Did he say bucket list or fuck it list?
I don't know. My audio's tuned down too much. All I know is I want better for Chad Gable someday.
Oh God, Chad's first match is Pentagon.
Oh God, no.
He just asked for the best luchador. It's either Ray or Pentagon.
It's not gonna be Ray. He's looking cozy in the front row there.
I was gonna say it's gonna be fucking Pentagon, isn't it?
Of course, it's going to be.
No.
You got to get the
I'm
internet buzzing. A match with Ray does nothing for the internet.
Although a match between Ray and Pentagon would do something for the internet.
Oh hell yeah! The fact that Pentagon's debuting does something for the internet because the IWC is going to go nuts for it.
Oh,
Look
that's a
at
cool
that
entrance.
big, beefy Scottish bastard.
Well, now they're putting themselves in a tough booking decision because if you have Drew go over, you're going to upset Rikishi that his son isn't being used more. And then if you have Jay win, everyone's going to be upset that Drew's not winning more.
They don't got to worry about Drew. They just re-signed Drew for, what was it, 4 years?
He's
Drew's
good.
locked in. But no, I highly anticipate that Drew wins this match.
I think he needs it a little bit more than what Jay does right now.
By the way, for anybody who watched Point of View and was wondering, my own team fucked over my bet the other night. Every other piece of my bet fell into place except for my fucking Patriots, who had the audacity to beat the Buffalo Bills outright, let alone just cover the spread. They beat them outright and then had their coach fired 90 minutes after the game.
I think you forgot an E in there, throwback. That's like only a half yeet. That's not quite the full yeet.
Yeah. Speaking
That's like
of
the arms
yeets,
only
can we
come
talk-
up halfway. That's like a yeet like this.
Can we also talk about how great it was to see the footage of Gabrielle Montez, Vanessa Hudgens getting to go in the ring with Cody Rhodes and the Bloodline to go ahead and do the yeet on one of the house shows this week?
I said that to my sister and I went, "She's one of us. One of us."
She's always stated that she's
No, I
one of
know.
us.
Yeah. But now it's great to see her coming more often.
No, I was just having a joke there. Throwback. No harm, no foul, buddy.
But no, I love seeing Vanessa Hudgens at these shows
Mhm.
because she's not like we were talking about earlier. She's not just a celebrity there for celebrity's sake. Yeah, she might have something to plug, but she'd go to these shows if she could anyway.
Mhm.
So her just being able to go and do these types of things, and that showed by her being at a house show doing the yeet thing as opposed to it being a pay-per-view or it being a TV. Oh no, that was actually a SmackDown, so I can't even say.
That's what I was about to say.
It was afterwards on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Might as well be a house show. It's a SmackDown show.
But yeah, I'm gonna head out because we got WCW coming up in a few. So see
All
ya.
right, Bobby. Speaking of, we got WCW coming up. No, yes, you can. Bye-bye.
I asked.
Speaking of we have WCW coming up, do you know how to
Great.
get this off? Do I just remove the Twitch from the StreamYard and that gets us off there?
Yeah, I'm gonna rate it out first. Or whatever before we do
Okay.
it. But just over to
I
my
would do that
personal
now
one.
while we got a commercial break.
Yeah.
All right, let me know when it raids out, and I'll try to remove it from in here and see what happens. I just don't want to stop them from going live. You know what I mean? And while we're doing this, I'm going to go ahead and play the calendar so that everybody knows what else we've got coming up here at our local establishment in the next week.
Please note.
Never gonna stop, never gonna change, never gonna do the things you say. I run my own way to get there. Pulls a coin in the eye, don't seem to care. In the air, no more crowd, just the opposite kind of few clouds. So tell me the storm is coming, for the sake of all your lies. Why don't you try to be wise? Know that I need you anyway.
I never wanted to be alive, just to feel like I'm fading. And though my heart beats a beat of time, I cross the lines just to tell you, don't lead the way, don't even say that I draw with a child playing the rain. I feel like I'm fading.
Oh, The Rock's drinking his Terramana.
Yeah. All right. So
Oh, and
Ridge
he's
be
talking
going
to
out.
Travis Scott.
And Raiden.
All right. All right. And while that's happening, all right, the raid has gone through. Let's remove and save changes.
See what goes down. Did it.
I just want to make sure we're not live on Twitch on our own. Give me a second.
It might still take a second before it actually rings out, but
No, not our chicken life.
our chicken life. That sounds like a special for Dom Dom.
It is indeed.
No, it's we are no longer broadcasting on OLE. So for everybody else, welcome to the Video Bros Network and my own personal Twitch, because that's where we'll be for the balance of the show.
Yep, and it's not live on Twitch. They should be all set to go.
Yeah.
Oh, Vanessa's back. Look for her. Oh, Gabriel's sitting right next to that guy who sings all those WWE songs.
Oh,
Lyra Valkyria.
yep.
And Bird Lady. Hashtag Team Bird Lady, not Team Damage Control.
So it's Lyra and Dakota then in the IC
Yeah, in the
title
finals for the
itself?
IC Championship. Yeah.
Go Lyra.
I mean, I feel bad
I-
for Dakota that I keep cheering against her, but I just.
I really like Lyra a lot. I think her work's great.
Oh, this is Travis Scott, I believe. Yeah. All right. I'm muting this bullshit because it's Travis Scott. So I could
And-
really care less.
Who's Travis Scott exactly? I don't even. that doesn't
Travis
even
Scott
ring
is
a
a
bell.
rapper extraordinaire. He was
Oh.
in. He's the. As far as I'm concerned, he's the guy from Fortnite. Because he did
Tell
a
me I'm
massive
old.
live event.
Tell me I'm old without telling me I'm old.
Yeah, he has the. He was presented with at a show of his. Triple H presented him with this custom, hardcore WWE like big logo championship.
Oh, yay.
Yeah. I mean, lots of people like him. He's, multi-time platinum. And let me pull up his bio. Travis. Scott.
It's not the type of music I
Oh,
follow
it's
enough
so-
to ever know.
It's
That's
so,
why.
It's
So,
so not my type of music either.
Yeah.
He's an American rapper, singer, songwriter, record producer. He's had 4 #1 hits on the Billboard Hot 100 with a total of 100 charted songs. He's got 10 Grammy Award nominations. He's won a Latin Grammy Award. He's won a Billboard Music Award, an MTV Music Award, and several BET Hip Hop Awards.
yeah. Like I say, I don't follow the type of music enough. Not that again, there's a lot of songs I hear in the hip hop world that I enjoy quite a bit. There's a lot
MJ
of
is one of
hip hop artists.
Is
yeah.
Isn't
yeah.
MJ one of them?
Yes. NJ also gets into the metal stuff as well too, but I just, I mean, including like, I don't listen to him regularly, but Snoop Dogg, I've always appreciated Snoop. I've always liked the guy. I think he's a smart businessman. I really appreciate him as a businessman more than an artist even.
His rebrand from gangster rapper to like legit dude is something that needs to be studied.
Yeah.
Because after imagine telling somebody in the early 90s that Snoop Dogg is going to be a mainstream star with people like On The Voice, with doing Olympic coverage, with, being with Martha Stewart on a TV show. Like, there's no way people in the 90s would believe that.
To singing on stage at Willie Nelson's like 98th birthday celebration or whatever the hell it was.
That makes more sense. Willie Nelson is the ultimate stoner. That makes way more sense for Snoop Dogg to do.
Willie's going to be making music for decades to come. That guy's going to be like the first man to hit like 140. I swear.
Yeet, yeet, yeet.
Oh, Jesus. There is like a million marks, and that's the stadium tonight. And I'm talking about Mark Talks, not just marks like wrestling fans.
Oh, there's a bit of both of them in there.
So we're at 9 o'clock. They're saying this, 9 o'clock my time, 10 o'clock your time. They're still saying this is going to be at least another hour and a half. There's this match. We got Punk and Rollins.
Yeah.
And whatever other little trinkets they add in there.
I want to say, though, they've got some real cool graphical changes with the way that they're presenting the show tonight that I've thoroughly enjoyed. And if that's just something that they've been saving for the Netflix debut or what. But can we just talk about the good work? I know it's hard to talk about good things in WWE considering Saudi Arabia Royal Rumble 2026. Fuck you both. Bringing in Real American beer as a sponsor. Fuck that. Fuck the Hulk Hogan. Iron Sheik is the best. But beyond those two things, can we talk about the great things that Triple H has been doing on like the visual end of WWE? We no longer have the Kevin Dutton 6 million cuts every time something's going on. We're seeing the backstage area as so much more of an environment that everybody interacts with as opposed to set pieces in different spots of the arena where people have to cut their promos.
I said it at the beginning of the night too. The one touch I like, and they did it with Saturday night's main event. I like that they brought the fans on the rampway closer so that there's that interaction as they get wrestlers come down that rampway, like in the day where there was all those fans in the shot making the star feel like a star kind of thing.
Yeah.
And they did that, which was a beautiful touch. Production wise, they've always been money wise, they've always been there, but the look and feel of it now is a lot more sports based. I like that. I like that they've been putting statistics on the screen throughout the night. That has been a beautiful touch. Like the Rhea statistics earlier, they had all the accolades of Roman Reigns, things like that. I dig that kind of stuff. Like me being more sports centric and everything. And I do love those intricacies because, when you say you're a wrestling fan, it's one thing. Like people think it's the soap opera that it always is. I like the combat portion of it quite a lot. Yes, you need the soap opera stuff to get there sometimes and to really put it over. But sometimes just plain and simple sport is what we're here for.
Absolutely. WWE's done a really good job of changing, especially under the Triple H umbrella. They are trying to change the way that their product is viewed, but not making silly changes. It's not like we need a ranking system or, something else to be sports-based. Like, no, we're just going to make it look like a sporting presentation, not make it run like a sporting presentation. You create the win-loss records, throw them on the screen, make them make sense. that like you said, that Roman Reigns thing with the like having the pictures of the belts and how many times he's won them or how long he was the universal undisputed universal heavyweight champion. Those are really cool additions that are like, that's kind of dope. I like this. And I think that those are interesting, smart, and basic changes that make things feel better without having to like invest a ton.
Yeah. Oh, I 100% agree. Yeah, just simple things like that where, again, I'm trying to look at this from perspective of, okay, you're sitting down on Monday night tonight, you flick on Netflix, you got home from work, what can I watch? I've caught up on Is It Cake? I've caught up on whatever the fuck, Love is Blind, all this kind of stuff. Oh, look, I used to watch wrestling in the 90s, WWE on Netflix. Maybe I should flick this on. Presentation-wise, you aren't going to be disappointed at all. You're going to get a clue of who are the players, why they're important. Even if you've never seen Roman Reigns and don't know anything about him, by the end of tonight, you knew how much Roman Reigns was a champion, how much he had won, why you should care about him, his relation to a guy like The Rock, who, okay, you know The Rock, so you're going to understand that. And okay, there's all these other Samoans out here, so they must also be tied to this thing. And then the interest level goes up. It feels important. It looks important. And therefore, it's going to come across that way. And I'll give full kudos to the layout and the design tonight. It's been really good in that sense. Could I have done with a little bit more wrestling? Sure. But I mean, at the same time, honestly, sitting here just kind of shooting the shit, talking about WWE all night, it's been fun.
Again, with the big caveat of fuck the Royal Rumble being in Saudi Arabia, fuck real Hulk Hogan American piss.
We haven't even had to see Hulk, so I mean, if
we will
that way,
worry.
Yeah.
And here's another cool graphic right here: televised wins in 2024. Bianca Belair, Braun Breaker, Damian Priest, Pete Dunne, Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso, and Jade Cargill. If you'd ask me who won the most televised matches in WWE in 2024, I would never have said Bianca Belair.
Well, after being on Mark's trivia, if you would have asked me after, I might have guessed something like that, because he always asked the question when it comes to each company he asked about was who had the most matches, the three people at the top of the most amount of matches in the year. And Bianca Belair was on that list. So, I mean, it would have been an easy guess to make in that sense. But
yeah, unfortunately,
didn't know.
Somehow my invitation to that show got lost in the mail.
I think
he was too busy yeeting all over himself to invite me.
I think you just have to tell him you're showing up. That's kind of how it worked. I think that's how Andre got in. He just kind of said, "How do I get in?" And we just said, "You're in." Man, Drew's a big boy.
Oh, he's such a beefcake, isn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, just look at this piece of Scottish beef right here.
Feels even bigger when he's standing up against all those small little men holding their phones out at ringside.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And like, he's not that massive. He's only 6'3", 6'4", 6'5". Like, he's not. It's not like he's like 6'7", 6'8". Like, he's not that big.
No, but I mean, in terms of like. I guess because wrestling's become so small, it's less commonplace that you get a 6'5", meaty guy that can move around like Drew does and stuff, that can perform like he does. You're so used to seeing the smaller guys conquer most of wrestling and everything, the 6 foot, 5'11s, anything of the sort. So it's good to see. And it's good to see that Drew is professional enough and good at what he does enough that he can mix it up with anybody. It doesn't matter. Size is not an issue. He actually can work it out in the ring with just about anybody.
Oh, apparently the New Day cut a promo on Kendrick Lamar during the show while we were on break.
Yeah. Oh, was that okay? Maybe that was the one where they were. Oh, I just couldn't hear it. I saw they were there.
Yeah,
they were saying.
So during one of our commercial breaks where I was in a commercial, they had the New Day talk to Kathy Kelly and they cut a promo.
Yeah, okay. I did see it. I just couldn't really hear what they were saying. I heard them say that they were supposed to have a match tonight, but that didn't go through or something along those lines.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, you've now seen them twice tonight. Is there something planned? Like, is there... It makes me wonder if there's something up their sleeve still for the New Day or New Day interference on something, or who knows?
I do love a friend of mine on Twitter. I'm sure production is telling Hogan not to make any political statements tonight since arriving in a MAGA shirt.
They should just told Hogan to fuck. They should have just told him, like, when, back in the day in school when you wore a band T-shirt and the one teacher took offense to it or something like that.
Just turn it inside out.
Turn it inside out. They should have treated Hogan like a fucking school child. Look, son, if you don't have another T-shirt with you, you better turn that shit inside out right now, or just rip it right off.
Oh, he's gonna rip it off on his own, so that's not something he's gonna argue about. I mean, granted, he's got to make sure it's cut real good first, because he's not 30 years old and on steroids anymore, so he can't just rip the shirt willy-nilly anymore.
No, now he's 70 years old and on steroids.
No, he's still not on. He's not still on steroids.
No, they're just called growth hormones now.
Exactly.
Most 70-year-old men still have that type of shape of their body. It definitely doesn't sag over time like it has to every other person that's taken steroids in their life.
I'm just so glad that they've been able to make Jey Uso feel like main event Jey Uso. You know what I'm saying? Like, he feels like a main event star. Like, he belongs in the main events and he belongs in these big matches.
I'm glad that they
such a tag team guy. I'm just glad that they've been able to do it.
I'm glad they proved me wrong, because I never thought they'd be able to split the Usos and make either one of them a singles wrestler properly. I always thought they were going to be pigeonholed into a tag team situation.
And I mean, Jimmy, I think, could have been a star if he would just stop getting hurt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think they would have been able to do something with Jimmy too if Jimmy weren't constantly hurt. But no, Jay feels like a legit main eventer. Like, he doesn't feel out of place in all of these big matches. And really, that's thanks to Roman Reigns. Like, it's thanks to Roman and that storyline with Roman.
Yeah. Well, they can also thank the wise man who had a lot of creative control over booking that, even at a time when Captain Cuckoo was still in charge. So,
well, yeah, no, I agree. I'm not saying it's only due to Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. They got new graphics where they highlight the winner of matches in the bottom corner. That's nice.
Yeah. So if you're watching live, you have a reason to actually go back later if you didn't catch it at the beginning or something along those lines, or if you don't mind having it spoiled for you already.
But I mean, if you're watching now live and you didn't watch in the beginning, it would have been spoiled for you anyways.
Yeah.
Like, the commentary is going to show you a clip of it or say something about it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like you can get away with it.
We call that your fault syndrome.
Oh, it's absolutely a your fault syndrome. I also like how commentary is saying, like, for me and you, dumb stuff. Like, the Claymore, that's his finisher.
Yeah.
But it's such a great idea considering you have so many potential new fans.
Yeah.
To be like, hey, let's say a couple of things that we know our diehards will be like, that's dumb. But give people who are new a chance to know what's going on. Not a bad idea.
No, not at all.
But again, Michael
You gotta
Cole,
tell the
one of
story.
best.
They also need to sell the relevance of it. It's like, it's one of those moves that, you get hit with, you're probably not coming back from.
Yep.
Unless you're Roman Reigns, who's probably kicked out of 17 Claymores in a row before. But
Well, I mean, Brock kicked out of, what was it, 6 that night at WrestleMania?
I think so, yeah. Mind you, Drew kicked the F5, though, too. So, which Brock doesn't allow to happen very often.
Brock in his later years was much more willing to give to other people as opposed to just take for Brock.
True.
I mean,
But I also think he respected some of the people he was working with later on compared to who they were having him work with prior to that.
yeah, and you know, good things, bad things, Brock aside, it was nice to hear Mustafa Ali telling the story of the Money in the Bank that Brock stole from him.
Yeah.
And how Vince told him right before he went out that was going to happen. He didn't tell him who, but he just said somebody's going to come out and take it from you. And so Mustafa Ali's like, yeah, I'm headed to the ring knowing, oh shit, Brock's winning Money in the Bank. And apparently Brock was like super kind. He's like, hey kid, you ready? As he's getting ready to shove the ladder down. And he's like, he shoved it real gently to make sure that Ali could like set himself to take the fall. I'm like, that's stuff I never thought about before.
I think Brock's willing to work. It's just he was trained differently and he's built differently. He's willing to work with guys as long as they know how to work with him properly. And like you see it in some of the stuff that he's done. Like you go watch him when he was originally going up against a guy like Strowman, and he tells him at one point, slow the fuck down. And then he gets clobbered in the side of the head by Braun being a little bit careless, and so he just dishes it right back to him. Like, stop that shit, basically. Like, it's just the way he would have been taught and what he's used to. And he knows Braun's a big guy. He knows that punching Braun in the side of the head's not going to take him out the same way it would to, you know, one of the littler guys or something like that. So
everybody's a littler guy when you're talking about Brock Lesnar.
Brock's not that tall though. I mean, Brock's like my height.
No, but he's built like
he just
a brick,
built differently. Yeah. He's built like an ape, is what it comes down to. He's a gorilla in sports. It's been a pretty good match so far.
Yeah, it's been great. And like, there's nothing to talk about because it's just a really good wrestling match. Like, it's nothing fancy, nothing special. It's just good ring psychology from two guys who know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Punk's a poser 214. It's an invested crowd too here in the Intuit Dome.
Yeah.
Here in California.
I figured the crowd would be hot regardless because it's a history-making moment, so they want to be loud, they want to be into it. They're not necessarily hijacking the show, which they very well could have tried to do, being that it was on Netflix and knew they wouldn't get censored like they do normally.
Yeah.
As seen by the very nicely fuck you solo chants that came out earlier in the night. And then them totally acknowledging, saying, well, we are on Netflix.
Yeah. We're not going to use that language, but we're not going to stop our fans from using that language.
That's right. Express yourselves. We don't censor anymore.
STG!
Yo!
Hello, my friend.
How's it going? We're just settling in for 16 hours of Monday Night Raw on Netflix here tonight.
Yeah. As Triple H apparently said earlier, and I can't quote this as an official quote, these shows could be anywhere between 40 minutes and 4 hours.
Somehow I don't feel 40 minutes is going to be the case.
Well, we have been, yes. I mean, have you? And if you have been watching the Monday Night Raw, why weren't you here?
No, we haven't been watching it. We're just doing a watch party.
He's like, I have been. Well, then why were you so damn quiet?
I didn't advertise enough. He didn't know.
Oh, he
Give him
knew.
a break. Give him a break.
He always knows. I just love making fun of it. I just love teasing STG. It's great. We're glad you're here now.
We got a lot going on in Canada here today, so I mean, come on.
Yeah, you got rid of a prime minister. How does that feel? We're not going to talk much politics. We'll just say
no. We're not going to it.
Give our generic thought, and then we'll move on.
Generic thought.
Big news.
It's too little, too late. That's the generic thought.
Right.
It needed to happen a long ass time ago.
Yeah, Jared Mayo got fired. A bit sad by that. I was a really big fan of him, so kind of upset that he
Ooh.
got let go. But
Drew's missing a thin layer of skin on the side of his scalp.
ooh, Jay got the win.
No, he
sorry, I
didn't
just
yet.
ruined that for you. I just ruined
Thanks,
that for Bobby.
Fucking Canadian Netflix.
Yeah, your Canadian Netflix let you down there.
Guess I have to watch it on a computer to keep up with real time here.
No, I just got to try to be better. It
My
just
live's
caught me
not
off
live.
guard. Your live's not live. Oh, we got a
Do you
Gunther
think-
promo.
Do you think he was fired because he didn't lose?
No,
last
he
game?
was going to get fired regardless. But not for me.
So this is your Raw champion, and he's not involved in anything tonight other than this.
No, because they're doing the thing with him and Logan. And Logan wasn't going to be here tonight. Like, he's here, but not really here.
Him and Logan Paul.
Yeah, I think that's the Rumble match.
That's
I think
so they want to make Gunther a babyface. Like that screams Gunther babyface all over it. Him slapping the shit out of Logan Paul. Who's not going to be cheering for that?
I mean, so at the Netflix like live event thing that they had, like the press conference thing, Logan stepped up to Gunther. So that's why I'm assuming this is going. But it makes honestly, from a character's point of view, it kind of makes sense. Gunther is the ring is sacred. You do the right things at the right times. And Logan Paul is I don't stand in line.
Yeah. Well, if he wants to suffer another loss to a champion, go ahead. I'll watch him get slapped around by Gunther. And I hope he marks that little prick up well. I love. Okay, so anybody who's watched anything that Netflix has done in terms of like live programming or anything like that, it's just like Netflix likes self-promotion, which is great.
Oh, absolutely. But that's fine. Like,
Yeah,
they're giving us much less ads. Like, I've gotten a ton less ads. So if they want to self-promote, fucking self-promote.
oh, for sure. Yeah. May I express
course.
the main gripe? Yes. We are all ears, or well, in this case, all eyes, my friend. Finishers are not protected. I hate it. Why do you have to do 2 to 3 to win? Yeah, I wish they were more protected too. I mean, and the thing is that so many moves have been so overdone over time that certain moves that were finishers are not protected even as regular moves anymore. Where the super kick used to be a finisher. Now people do 8,000 of them in a match and it still can't finish a match. The DDT used to be a finisher. Now you can do it 8,000 times in a match and it does nothing. I have a finisher if you're going to kick out. I agree. I think the finish should be the finish. I think the only way I would say have a finish get kicked out of, like a regular finisher gets kicked out of in a WrestleMania match or something huge, the big payoff title match or something like that, where, you know, that baby face where you think he's down and out, finally down and out completely and kicks out that one rare time. That I can buy. That is an age-old thing in professional wrestling. But I agree with you when it happens consistently on free television week after week, and it seems like everybody does it. You know, it's top name guy versus newcomer that's at the bottom of the card, and yet still that finisher can't quite do the job. I'm not on board with that. So I agree with where you're coming from on that, STG.
Also, we just heard that it sounds like we're getting our first info from WWE 2K25 on the 27th of January.
Nice.
Because Roman was just talking about January 27th, and he walked into a room, and when he closed the door, there was a WWE 2K25 logo on it.
Yeah. Well, they just
So it sounds
announced
like-
some of the new scans that they did, right, with some of the newer roster members and everything. So are
Bobby,
you guys
this
are you in commercial again?
Yeah, we're in a commercial again.
Because we're getting a
just haven't-
promo with Rhea and Damian Priest right now.
Yeah, nope. This is the Art of Marine commercial right now. Big Bronson Reed just said something that Bobby's going to be all down for. I better be able to make my entrance with a blunt when I make my return.
All right, Bronson, you escalated up my favorites list fast there. The promo with Rhea. Yeah, same with so STG, because like with what we're getting outside of the US is these promos now in between commercial spots and everything like that. It happened earlier too with the New Day doing one as well. So, and yes, we are getting Jackie Redmond.
Yeah, we got a Cuervo UFC commercial.
Okay, so we have Street Fight next week on Raw. Priest, and I'm assuming Balor. I missed who it was against, but I'm assuming it's Balor. I think we also got some ad skip during the Tribal Chief bet. Yeah, so when they go to cut to commercials, STG for us, we actually get the match continued. So it kind of does that fade to black and then pops right back up for us is the way it's working for Netflix internationally. At least, again, this will only apply until the contract runs out with Peacock, and then I'm sure they're going to dump Peacock like a bad habit.
But I don't think anything in that realm is going to change for us once it happens, because Netflix is giving $5 billion. They're going to want something, you know what?
I'm sure they're going to take all of it eventually. Like, you guys will have the same deal we have inevitably down the road.
This is for STG. You're calling me hating on Canada. Fuck Canada.
Ed hates on Canada regardless of what's going on.
By the way, every time I hate on Canada, we need to get that clip from Deadpool and Wolverine where it says, "Get my goddamn country out of your goddamn mouth."
Yeah.
So we need to pull that clip.
Okay, there's even another one that I maybe won't repeat on the channel here that says something about someone from Saskatoon in there too.
We're not talking about Truthful Timmy from Saskatoon and everything else that he does.
You know the line.
I do know the line. We're not talking about Truthful Timmy. Right movie, wrong lines.
You guys still in commercial, or are you getting the one
No,
shot of the
we're
outside of the
getting the
arena now?
Yeah, the one shot with the big, huge thing from the outside of the arena.
Yeah. Richard Gadd from Netflix. One show recapping about how he was harassed back in the day.
Oh, he's crossed the line too. Oh, heels. That's why. I was like, why is he here? But oh, heels.
Yeah. All right. STG's asking Ed, other than NXT, what other shows do you watch weekly for wrestling?
Is it NXT? I mean, every now and then I watch other stuff, but I mean, I don't watch anything weekly. Monthly, I go to all the chaotic shows. Either go or watch all the chaotic shows on a once or twice a month basis. But Nope, I have other things in my life that I keep myself occupied with. Oh shit! I'm muting this bastard. I'm muting him. I'm not even.
Oh,
While he's on
Why?
my screen, Bobby, we're gonna go back to running down the chaotic pandemonium card.
yeah, do
Because
that.
that's so much better than having
Because
to listen
fuck
to this.
the Hulk Hogan.
Absolutely, the Sheik had it right 20 years ago or 30
I
years
mean,
ago.
if it was just Jimmy Hart coming out, I'd pay attention, but fuck the Hulk Hogan. Real American piss. That's what his shirts would be saying.
Yeah. It indeed should be. But we got the main event of this show is, of course, the aptly named Pandemonium match, which is an elimination match where the entrants come out like a staggered entrance. So it's going to be a 6-person elimination match. We have a 7-person, we talked about earlier, the 7-person battle royal to determine the mystery participant. But then we have the returning of Armani Chaos. We have Andre C's favorite chaotic wrestler, Seabass Finn.
Nice.
Jerry Rivera from God's Greatest Creations, the Church of the GGC. We, of course, have Mortar, one of my favorites. Returning from time in Japan, former NXT talent Anthony Green is coming back. And whoever wins that match will get the main event world championship spot at Cole Fury, which is their WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So
Which is the one you and Papa
it's a big-
Smokes. You and Papa
Yeah,
Smokes
I'm
covered
not
that
sure.
one last year. Yeah.
And we'll probably cover it
And-
again with Bring Respect Radio this year.
And I know you muted it, and to STG's point, even though I have the sound turned way down, I can still hear it. There is like an audible sea of boos in the arena here. Like, not what you normally would have expected, but should be expected out of this asshole at this point. So
That's great.
I love how Cole asked me, if it wasn't for this man, none of us would be here. If it wasn't for the right place at the right time, none of us would be here. And you don't know. That's the other thing. We don't know.
I mean,
Maybe it would have been broadcast the same way, but wrestling was very, very profitable for a long time without Hulk Hogan or Vince
yeah,
McMahon.
but here's the thing. And while I hate to give Hulk Hogan or Vince McMahon any credit whatsoever, and I don't, there is something special about the change that happened in the build to Mania and the WrestleMania that being the success that it was, that really is at the feet of Hulk Hogan. Like, as horrible as he is, and as much as we don't want to give him credit for it, he was the box office draw. He was the mainstream box office draw before pro wrestling was entertainment.
Not gonna lie, he
was
my favorite at one point in time
absolutely.
when I was a kid.
I think almost every kid at some point had their favorite wrestler be Hulk Hogan. By the way, can we just talk about how great it is to have moving graphics back again, by the way?
Yeah. All right, so next Monday is the Intercontinental title finals. There's a lot of people asking why it wasn't tonight, and I'm like, you know what? I get it. They got to save some stuff for...
They want to space some of this out.
Coming.
Remember, you're building 4 weeks to the Rumble. You've got to do something.
Yeah.
Sheamus versus Kaiser next week. What else we got here? What else do they show? Oh, yeah. So the debut of Penta in the ring will be next week against Chad Gable. That'll be fun. And for those that missed it, he wants the best luchador that Adam Pearce has. And it is Finn Balor versus Damian Priest in the street fight.
I mean, they couldn't just like flat out like tell you though, right? Like, I want the best luchador, not just like I want the best of the best. You give me whoever kind of. They could have just left it at that to leave some mystery to it, but like just slightly before that, the graphic came up and Penta. It's like, okay, those who know already. And as soon as Gable asked for it, it's like, well, we know what we got.
And you know what? It's fine. Like, it's not like they're teasing like it's a debut. Oh my God, who could it be? It's like, no, just Chad having the best luchador.
Yeah.
Oh wow. This is the Seth Punk match. We're here. We're at the main event.
We are?
This is it.
Okay.
Seth's coming out.
There's no way this is going 60 minutes, right? Like,
No.
Bring it on, STG. You got questions, we got answers.
I mean, we're not Office Depot, but we will do our best. I don't know if that plays to a Canadian crowd or not, like it would an American crowd.
Office Depot?
So Office Depot is a company
Yeah.
out here
I
in the
know
States. Okay, and did they have the same slogan up there? You've got questions, we've got answers.
I mean, here's my problem. Even growing up, I always had cable television, so I watched a lot of American TV. So I don't know. I wasn't used to it when I first started going to school, and people didn't watch the same shows as I watched because I had cable and they had the 3 free available channels that they had here in the province. Sorry, 4 channels, but one of them was the French speaking channel, which, as much as we're a French speaking country, I never knew anyone that spoke it. Screw Office Depot.
By the way, I will say, even though I lost my parlay yesterday, I did make another bet on the Lions to beat the Vikings. So
yeah,
I did end up. I used one of the super bets that they gave me for putting money on my DraftKings account. So it was a $25 bet. So it won me like $30, which is nice.
Nice. To your question here, STG, does WWE have to keep stepping their game up with being on Netflix now? The answer to me is no. I think what they've been doing is perfectly fine. I think this is enough to live up to the hype of what they're doing for a monumental occasion. And I think from there, they just need to try to book as consistent as possible moving forward. And yeah, I don't think that they need to change everything. I mean, how do you keep going up from there when you're pulling out all these names like you did tonight, kind of thing? Like, you're just going to keep dropping celebrities every single week? Like,
I think more to the point of what STG saying is, do they need to go big and go better with like this is, you gotta remember, they were building this like a WrestleMania.
Yeah.
But obviously less wrestling, more mania, but because we're on what, match 5 or 6 of the night?
4, isn't it?
This is only the 4th match.
Yeah. You had Solo and Roman. You had Rhea and Liv. You had Jay and Drew. And now this.
Shit.
There was nothing in
4
between.
matches in a 3+ hour show.
Yeah. Mind you, there have been some pay-per-views that weren't far off of that, though.
No, but I mean, nothing's felt rushed tonight.
No.
Not a single thing has felt rushed.
There's the stats for Seth on the screen. I like it. That's, again, we go back
no,
to that.
No,
nice
no,
touch.
no. I'm looking at a Subway ad, thank you.
Oh, okay, sorry.
I'm trying to figure out what Subway sandwich I want to buy. Even though I can't eat the bread, so there's no point in having a Subway sandwich.
Oh, now I want food. And I'm trying to eat healthy, so I got nothing right now.
Well, it's only 8:30, Bobby. You can get what is it? Skips.
9:30, and I don't order from Skip ever. I don't do delivery. I go pick up, and nothing's open where I live. No, wifey's out. Wifey's out with her mom right now, and she'll be bringing me home a Greek salad tonight. So.
Oh, that's so exciting! Great,
Isn't it? I know. Yeah, I've been, since the 20th, I've been trying to get back to semi-healthier eating, and I've only had, since the 20th, I think this is like my 3rd day where I didn't do like some sort of workout or fitness training of some sort kind of thing. So we've been doing different cardio trainings, like yoga, standing workouts that we can do at home. We actually went to the gym in our town here on Saturday, and we were there for just over 2 hours. Did the track for about an hour and then hit the weights for about an hour and stuff too. So I have been really trying to take it seriously. Now it's for you as well too, Ed. Yeah.
Doing well. Trying to hopefully lose weight. I have the endoscopy at the end of the month. I have the nuclear stress test in the middle of February, and once I get the okay from the cardiologist, it will be surgery time.
Yeah, I just I was getting to that point again where I let myself slip. I lost a whole bunch of weight and got really fit at one point, and then when the world shut down, I think I got in my own head that I was like, it's okay. I can re-lose things and stuff like that. I don't have to worry about what I'm eating. I should just be fortunate that there's food in the fridge, kind of thing. And we stocked up on it as much as we could, and then because it was there and there was nothing to do, we were home all the time, I just ate a lot more, and then I didn't work it off. So then, of course, the weight packed back on, and then it got harder and harder to motivate myself to get back into that regiment. And now I'm finally getting there. It's not easy. It never is. I mean, I always encourage people, if they can, definitely do it. STG saying, my biggest problem is that I have a serious Coca-Cola addiction. Today was the first day that I have not had one. I had that same problem, STG. Like, honestly, I used to drink Coca-Cola on a daily basis for the longest time. And now, because I haven't drank it as much, or almost virtually not at all, for so long, that even when I do on the rare occasion accept one, because people are handing out cans of pop at a lunch and learn that I'm at through work or something like that, and I take it. You know what? I haven't had one of these in a while, and I start drinking them like I feel awful after drinking one. And I, again, like you, I had that serious addiction to it. The only way I was able to reduce it is I switched first from Coca-Cola to ginger ale, and then I switched from ginger ale to bubbly. And I know a lot of people can't stand drinking like the carbonated soda waters and stuff like that. It took a while for me to adjust, but once I did, I can't really go back now. So
I was never a soda guy. I don't like the carbonation. The only thing I even tolerate carbonation for is the energy drinks when I used to have them. My big thing to give up to get on the healthy train was giving up my greens and my sugar. That's what I've been doing.
Yeah, that's still a battle for me. I mean, I like bread. I do too. I like bread. It's tough. It's it's not good.
Yeah, but going out to eat, it's like tonight we were on the run. We were running errands that went far later than we ever anticipated. It was stopping at McDonald's. You're like, oh, McDonald's, well, you got off the healthy train. No, because I got myself a small fry. I got myself 4 McDoubles with no bun. So it's just meat, cheese, ketchup, mustard.
And see, when I have had to go stop by somewhere like that, I've been going after, I don't know if you guys have the same thing, but we have a grilled chicken, avocado ranch McWrap that they do.
Bobby,
yeah.
I've seen this jacket in the video before.
This was posted in our Discord about that as well too. That's the
I know, but I didn't want to let where it is. Didn't I see this in a video from some real bad CCTV footage?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. And
they do.
You can't tell me that. You can't tell me Phil is not wearing it intentionally to get some conversation going.
No. Phil stirring up trouble for no reason whatsoever. No.
This is the thing. I really was never on board as a CM Punk fan back in the day when everybody loved this guy. I didn't get it. Never was that interested. Still didn't buy into it. Didn't care if he even returned. Since he's returned to wrestling in general, I find it amusing how much he makes everybody who used to love him hate him. I'm almost that cynical guy that I disliked him so much when everybody loved him that I appreciate him more now that he's pissed off the world in the process. So, and I don't always disagree with him. It's like, if you're going to go be a fucking asshole backstage, so sorry, you're going to get, you're lucky that that's all that happened.
Can you imagine if Jack Perry tried to pull that shit on Ellis Assassino or Sheik Shabazz?
No, Sheiky wouldn't have said much. Sheiky wouldn't have been happy, but he wouldn't have really said much. Assassino would have lost his shit. He would have lost it. I've seen that guy go after a dude or two before. He's not going to put up with shit like that. But I was just thinking, you imagine running your mouth like that back in the day? Like, can you imagine running your mouth like that in the 80s? How quick you would have been booted, not only from the locker room, but you would have been booted right out the arena. And I'm not talking booted like escorted out politely. The boys would have put the boots to you, dragged you out, probably
it would have
straight
been
from the shower.
Uncle Phil and Jazzy from Fresh Prince.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I stopped watching after the Rock and Stone Cold. That was 2005. Didn't come back till 2018. I don't get CM Punk either.
I get it. I get why people don't get him, but I get the talent. The dude was always ultra talented. Like,
he can wrestle.
He's something special.
And you know what? I liked the homages he was doing in some of his matches to classic matches that when I think about it, I'm like, I remember that, but most wrestling fans nowadays wouldn't remember that particular thing happening because they were too young or non-existent at the time that it happened. And I think about that, like, how many wrestlers did we watch when we were kids that did that exact same thing, but we had no clue because we had never seen a match from the 1970s or 60s?
Yeah, I get it.
Plus, anyone who does a homage to Bret Hart, you're good in my books in that sense.
I mean, that's an unfortunate circumstance, but it is what it is. But this is two guys that are willing to do business for business sakes, and I love it. Oh man, STG's picked some terrible favorite wrestlers from back in the day. I mean, his first favorite wrestler was Ultimate Warrior and then Bret Hart.
Yeah, see, I love Bret Hart. I was never really a Warrior guy. Like, everybody, all my friends loved Warrior a lot. Like, I was
talk about all flash and no substance, huh? Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah. But see, then I started to dig the wrestling, and I think that's why I got really into Bret Hart. It's why I enjoyed the whole run with Bob Backlund and got into the whole thing with Owen Hart as well too. Like, I started to really enjoy wrestling-centric wrestling at that point in time. So that's when I stopped getting away from liking the gimmicky big man shit like Hulk Hogan and stuff and got into more of that.
You know what I think would make for a fun show? Me, you, and Papa Smokes going back to 93 and watching Raw in order.
There would be some stuff Papa Smokes. Like, Papa Smokes still liked certain things in the 90s. The only reason he wasn't really a big WWE guy was because
Vince.
It was the presentation that he wasn't used to, and the fact that he was more, like a lot of the guys he was watching were being taken away from the AWA to go to the WWF and then being changed up in a way. It's no different from when people saw, people jumping ship between WWE and WCW and they gets changed up and you don't like that, or nowadays AEW and WWE and people don't like that necessarily. So
I hear you.
Droid Media Box has 24/7 WrestleMania. I'm having tuning into the Bret Hart versus Owen Hart. That match at
one of the
Open
best
10
matches ever.
Oh, phenomenal! And
it's still in my top 5 of WrestleMania matches of all time. It's still in my top 5. And the funny thing is, it's not the best match on that card. You know what I mean? That's the funny thing. As good as that match is, it is not the best match on that card. No, it's not. It's not the best right on WrestleMania match ever. Oh, the Shawn Michaels Razor Ramon ladder match. It defined the ladder match for years upon years upon years, and not just on that card. I think End of an Era is still, I think, the greatest WrestleMania match that's ever happened. I think it's End of an Era.
I mean, in this case, you're both right, in my opinion, because those matches are so good that the argument can be made either way. The argument can be made either way for either one of those matches on that card.
And that's a personal preference for me with the ladder match. But yes, it was because the story was the ladder, because it was so new. It wasn't, no offense to the Hardys and Edge and Christian, but they changed the ladder match for the worst when they did it. And granted, I love the Hardys Edge Christian ladder match. That thing was sensational. but it changed the ladder match in such a way that made it what it is today, which is a spot fest, as opposed to being the story of the ladder match is here because there's something we have to hang above the ring, and let's use the ladder for their ladder to be, a tool to make that story tell.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just AEW though. It's not just AEW.
It's
WWE
everybody.
does the exact same thing. Indie promotions do the exact same thing.
Everybody.
It's everybody. And WWE ruined it long before AEW ever existed.
Yeah.
When Tony Khan and his dad were still just guys who owned a soccer company.
Poorly owned a soccer company.
Well, anybody who owns a soccer company is doing something poorly.
No, they're not. Especially not Drew Carey or Ryan Reynolds, for that matter.
I mean, they're owning a soccer team, so they're obviously doing something wrong.
By the way, Daddy Bobby, screw Man U for tying Liverpool. No, screw Man U for not beating Liverpool. That's what it should say right there. We missed a sitter at the end of the game. It should have been a 3-2 victory in the end. That was the best game Man United has played in a long ass time against the inevitable champions, Liverpool. So if they could just do that more, the other teams, the bottom teams, should not be able to beat Man United if they could play like they did against Liverpool. Like, I just don't understand why they can't get that formula to be more consistent. Then they can go back to being the team everyone hates.
Liverpool, the greatest team in the Premier League. Why? Because they're owned by Fenway Sports Group.
Yeah. Liverpool had a chance to chokehold more points, but they tied. Yeah, well, I mean, more fool them.
How good
More
is
fool
Mo
them.
Salah? Because I've been watching some old John Oliver's, and he's on John Oliver stuff, and he was talking about how, no, I've known forever that they owned him. I thought they had sold him by now. I didn't know they still owned Liverpool. I remember when they bought it, and I was like, fuck that shit. Okay, he's 32 years old and fabulous. All right.
Yeah, it is actually. That's the scary part.
Because he was on Hot Ones, and Sean was asking him if he wants to go to Enfield and know any one chant, what would it be? And he said that it was the Mo Salah chant.
Oh, hold on.
No,
We gotta run
Rob
it.
Room.
Hi.
What
I thought she was in the wrong room because she's here. I'm like, no, she's supposed to be over there.
Oh, you can't see the private chat that we have.
Yeah, no, I could see it, but Ed couldn't.
I'm
just
not
saying,
cool enough to
hey.
be in all the private chats. Hello. Nice to see you.
Nobody said I was cool. I just start all the private chats so no one has a choice.
Yes, but nobody
Well-
adds me to said private chats. I'm just kidding.
I've got like several with you, Ed. You know this.
I know.
Listen, that's where we thrive is in the chats.
But you'll
I
be
just-
happy. I've been saying fuck the Hulk Hogan, and I've been saying fuck the Saudi Arabia all night for you.
Yes.
And
yes.
Hogan
here
pretty much
watching-
got
we're
booed
here
out of the
watching the
arena
WWE
tonight too. So
Yeah.
Yes, STG. I did dye my hair.
That's
like
good.
it?
That's good.
It's purple. It kind of matches the background here. I love
it
it.
does. Fabulous.
It's a mood. It's a mood. Was an accident. I was I went for
Accident, not true.
I was just putting like a different gray conditioner, right? Because I'm
Mhm.
trying to like have my grays pop. And it turned my blonde in the front purple.
Oops. Happy accident. Like a happy little tree from Bob Ross.
Well, I wanted to come in and say hi. Love you guys. How was the show? Is it great?
It's been all right. It's
Presentation's been
lacking on the wrestling, but they've done a big job of making it feel important. 4 matches, but everything's had time. The Bloodline match went probably about 20 minutes. Rhea and Liv went about 20.
Oh.
somewhere between 15 and
Did
20.
she get?
Like
Did she get the title or no?
She did.
Yes.
Rhea Ripley is the new champion. And then Undertaker came and went around the ring in his motorcycle, and then they both
What?
did the arm thing. Yeah.
What?
She's at the back and she's holding up a title with the Titantron behind her saying "and new champion." And then all of a sudden the Undertaker's music starts playing, and Badass Taker comes riding around his little motorcycle so that they can both do the big hand thing.
Yep.
I mean, for this kind of show, I get it.
Yeah.
But
He didn't overshadow it too much, which is typical WWE sometimes.
Yeah, he didn't say a
Mhm.
word. He didn't do anything. He just rode around, waved, and then did the arm thing with Rhea. So, I mean, at least it was in an effort to make her feel like a big deal.
fair.
And
Yeah,
yes,
I heard
as
there was a
SCG
lot of
says,
celebrity sightings
everywhere.
Yeah.
Like Topanga.
I mean, they're making it a big deal, right? It feels like a big
They should.
deal.
Speaking of big
Oh,
deals,
Christ.
speaking
Christ,
of big
that-
deals, though, Auntie, I hear you have a new show coming to OLE on Saturday.
Did he finally tell you?
Yes. Oh, I've had the graphics sent over. We're working on stuff. It's ready. It's gonna be ready.
I mean, he is the Ogre Lord. He should know when we have new shows.
Ogre Lord?
The
As in
Ogre
Shrek?
Lord.
That's what they call me. Ogre
No.
Well, we
Yes,
used to
the
call him
mother-
Overlord, and he didn't like it, so we call him Ogre Lord now.
I also love it because I said, Jose, here's are the colors that I like. And he's like, we're just gonna do it like RuPaul's Drag Race. So I was like, okay, cool. So if you didn't know, it's called the Mother Tucking Post Show. You heard that right. The Mother Tucking Post Show. We are going to be talking about all things RuPaul's Drag Race season 17. It's I know one of the queens on there, which is so wild. But all the queens on there, they have such funny names like Kasha Forgot, like in case you forgot.
I love that. That's so
Uh,
good. I love drag queens. I love drag. I worked at McDonald's late nights, and I would see them all come through the drive-thru on
Yeah.
late nights. Oh my God, they are the best people in the world. There are no better people in this earth than the drag
Absolutely.
queens. I love them to death.
Absolutely. I definitely agree. Hormona Lisa.
I might have to watch
It's-
this in Puppet or one of
yeah.
these shows.
It's a lot of fun. So the episode that we're going to be talking about is the two-parter first episode. Excited to see what happens. I'm sure we're going to touch base and have a little lovely tribute to the Vivian who passed away unexpectedly yesterday. Mostly good tributes. One terrible comedy spot. I wouldn't call it comedy. From a former RuPaul's Drag Race winner. But other than that, shady business. You know, we don't ever will or have ill will for the dead here. So,
Oh God, no.
but yeah.
But
that's
remember,
it. I
everybody, right after we're done, or right after this match is done, we're going to be sending you all over to WCW Women's
No.
Championship.
Nope.
Oh,
we're not gonna do it.
See,
Postpone.
this is why y'all
I
need
know.
to do something. 'Cause
I was coming over here to tell you guys. So we were gonna
Okay.
do a show. Since
Yep.
this is going long, I want the party to keep going here. I want people to also feel like they don't need to give us pity watch. I'm kidding. No one would ever do that. I want to give this episode time because episode 6 has such great matches that I know that I'm going to talk for like 25 minutes, especially the Shayna versus Mia Yim match because it was so good. Chef's kiss. I want to talk about it forever, but I want to give this time to y'all. Enjoy, and we'll be back again on Monday to talk about it. So
Wonderful.
It's
Okay.
been a hell of a match.
Yeah. Well, thank you for stopping by.
yeah,
Oh, I thought that was the finish.
Yeah, I know. I thought so too. They've been doing each other's finishing moves. Punk just hit its Rollins just hit Punk with the GT. He's hit 2 GTS.
Oh, that's the match that's going on right now. Well,
Yeah, that's the main event.
all right, the main event. Well,
The main
Main
event.
event.
enjoy. Love you guys.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, Auntie. Don't go. I wonder the mindset is when two wrestlers who hate each other have to work together.
It's very simple. Get through the match. Don't hurt each other so you don't give the other guy any ammunition.
Yeah.
It's I've talked, Bobby, I'm sure you can say it from being a BBW. That's if you got people who don't mind meld, and it's literally just get through it.
Yep.
Get through the match. Don't hurt each other. Do whatever the booking team needs you to do so that you can continue to get booked, but don't do anything stupid.
And in all honesty, too, it's like, are we still believing that these two really dislike each other like they did?
I think they have personal differences, but they're both professional enough to make it work.
Exactly. I don't think it's a deep hatred, the level of Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart back in the day. And they worked together for a long time.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, like, don't forget, like, fucking CM Punk got called a cancer. Like, let's not forget, he's not gonna forgive that.
No, this won't be it. Too close to the ropes. Too close to the ropes. Let's go to rope break. Told you.
Hey, let's leave that. Let's leave that stuff alone, SCG. But I agree with you. But this has been a great match. I'm really enjoying this.
Yeah. No, it's a solid main event. Very solid.
It's a match that I would have rather seen on a pay-per-view. Like Royal Rumble.
But they had to give one of these for this night. They did
two. They literally gave away 3 matches that they should have been doing at Rumble. The Tribal Chief, the Tribal Warfare match should have been at the Rumble. The Rhea Liv match probably should have been at the Rumble. And this match should have been at the Rumble.
But with 2 Rumble matches, we don't have a lot of time you don't have the time to flesh out those matches in this same vein. So they almost feel better placed here because they get time to breathe. Royal Rumble, they would have been too rushed.
Maybe.
Yeah, like what SGG said. And I don't think the Royal Rumble matches can ever get to the level of the actual Royal Rumble. I think that's where the problem they would have got lost in the shuffle of being on the Royal Rumble, I think. And again, they had to go big. It's the first one here.
Oh, here we go. Falcon Arrow. Ooh.
Yeah, you're still that
10
10 seconds ahead or so, or not even 10. It's about 5. Well, GTS just hit. Gonna hit a second one? Nope. I don't believe it for a second. Oh, he did hit a second one. Okay.
Huh. Interesting.
Wow. Did not see that coming. I would have had Seth on that one all day.
That's not what I would have booked.
I'm shocked.
I don't mind it. I think it's fine because this is the first of, I'm hoping, a few.
Well, this also coincides with what there might have been leaked about the Royal Rumble, though, too, right?
No, I agree.
Yeah.
But like I said, I don't hate that. I don't hate the decision. I'm fine with the choice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, because of course, like the way I see this going, because of course, I'll say what the leak is. Hopefully nobody has a problem with it, but there is a leak stating that there is going to be a match for the title, CM Punk versus Gunther at the Royal Rumble, with a rule that Seth Rollins is not allowed to intervene in the matchup itself. So I see somehow that's going to go whatever certain way it ends up going, and it's going to lead to Seth Rollins probably once again at Mania, very likely. But Rollins with a little bit of color. They see that the executive producers, Paul Levesque and Lee somebody on there.
lead douchebag sexual harasser fitting. Yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that's who that was.
Yep,
Okay, then,
yep.
And fuck that guy too.
Fuck him.
Add
fuck
him to the list of people who can fuck right off, and then it just comes to an end. And that 3.5 hour Raw actually was only exactly 3 hours of that was weird. So, okay, I don't know if it did that for YouTube.
So they have a
like,
post show on the YouTube channel. That's what they're like. Michael's on the YouTube channel, and they just didn't cut the stream quick enough.
Because it went to the Netflix symbol as if it was over, and then it cut back to Punk in the ring for a split second, and then it just ended all out of nowhere. But
yeah, they're on
it's
their post show with Joe Statutor, Wade Barrett, and Big E.
All right. Well, Ed, it's getting late in the night. It's been a fun night, but I want to give you a chance to take the floor, let people know what you got coming up.
Big thing, the only thing we need to talk about right now is the return of Taking Over, the 2025 return. Even if Munson didn't remember that it's returning, I remember it's returning. Ash remembers it's returning. So you can see me and the Queen as we talk all things NXT. New Year's Evil. Triple threat match for the men's championship between Obafemi, Eddie Thorpe, and Trick Williams. The women are probably going to be main eventing this show between Roxanne Perez and Julia. Don't forget that we've also got apparently The Rock said tonight on Instagram that he's going to be there tomorrow night. So all kinds of stuff going on. Ava's tweeted out big things. So tomorrow night, right after NXT, which you guys all around the world can see on Netflix. Me, I'm going to have to watch it on my Hulu. But you can go ahead and catch that, and we'll be here to talk all about it tomorrow night.
There you go. And I did remember. I'm pretty sure it's on the calendar, is it not?
Nope.
What?
Not on the calendar. It goes right from WCW right to whatchamacallit.
Okay, because
respect.
Something happened, then I must have accidentally erased because I originally put it in. No, I did originally put it in, so I did remember that it was returning this week. But as for your question, when are the ladies going on? Unfortunately, not tonight. STG, they've opted out of doing the show tonight, and they're going to come back next week. But as for myself, there's the ticker down below. Thank everybody for tuning in tonight, following along. Really appreciate it. STG being active in the chat, Throwback as well, active in the chat, and everybody who stopped by, Astrid, Auntie Collins, yourself, Ed as well too. Join me and Papa Smokes this Thursday. It's a trip through the territories. We're going global this time. We're heading on over to New Zealand, joined by the Divine Light, James Shaw, and David Dunn from SPW. So it's going to be a fun one. Then, of course, PW every Saturday afternoon. And then right back here on Sunday for Point of View with Ed, Andre, and that Mark guy, because we keep him around still.
The Yeet Man himself, Mark Talks Wrestling.
Yeet Man himself. Yeah, that's right. He will be here, but that's going to be it. No outro videos. We're just going to go straight to it. So thanks for tuning in. Have a good night, everybody. Take care. We'll see you soon.